A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Pepsi-Cola, P-E-P-S-I, that's your smartest cola buy. Pepsi-Cola presents Counterspy.
Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy. Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy.
Harding, Counterspy, calling Washington.
United States Counterspies, especially appointed to investigate and combat the enemies of our country, both at home and abroad.
Tonight, the case of the arrogant arsonist. Another Counterspy report to the American people. Brought to you each Tuesday and Thursday by Pepsi-Cola.
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot.
That's right, you heard what they said. 2 full glasses of sparkling Pepsi from one big 12-ounce bottle. You're getting an extra glassful. And what a delicious glassful. The most refreshing, delightful cola that ever tickled your taste. You can't top Pepsi's tangy flavor. And that big, big bottle saves you money, goes twice as far. Pepsi's America's big, big favorite, and America's biggest cola value. So why take less when Pepsi is best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
Why take less when Pepsi's best?
And now to Counterspy. One of the most despicable of all crimes is the malicious setting of fire. Vilest of all criminals is the professional arsonist. We go back some years to a winter evening in Berlin, Germany. 2 men stand back from the crowd, watching the firemen fight their hopeless battle against the flames swiftly devouring the large building. The small man smiles proudly and turns to his uniformed companion.
Exquisite, eh, Mr. Dietrich?
Yes, Gratz. Very beautiful.
Did you ever see such wonderful flames? They dance like the lovely girls of the ballet, huh?
Gratz, tonight will be a turning point in history.
I have no interest in history, Mr. Dietrich. I'm an artist, but with good business sense. Now that my work is done, it's but matter of the 50,000 marks.
You have earned your money well, Gratz. When you put the torch to the Reichstag, you've started a flaming symbol that will rage for years to come.
That was February 27th, 1933, the infamous Reichstag fire in Berlin. And though Hitler's Germany has since been crushed, sparks of that fire still smolder. The greed and ruthlessness that started it still survive and flourish. 3 weeks ago in Tangier, North Africa, Karl Dietrich, still calm, still arrogant, waited in his sumptuous office.
Your phone call to Wolf in New York is ready, Mr. Dietrich.
Thank you, Nina. Hello, Wolf. Dietrich.
Did you get my message, Mr. Dietrich?
Yes. Miss Campo decoded it properly.
Then I'll go right ahead and destroy the account books as I said in the message.
You'll do nothing of the kind.
But Mr. Dietrich, the federal grand jury meets here in New York at the end of next week. They're going to investigate all exporting companies.
So you said, Wolf.
They'll subpoena our books. They'll have a record of all the transactions.
Don't let it worry you.
But don't you see, they'll find out that my exporting company is just a dummy for supplying your combine with potential war material.
Just leave it to me, Wolf.
Oh, what can you do, Mr. Dietrich? You're thousands of miles away. I'll be ruined. kill myself before I let them put me in jail.
Wolf, stop talking like an idiot. I'll handle everything. I'm taking the first plane for New York.
That message to Channel 4. Just the speed of the turntable.
Right, Mr. Harding. These electronic decoders the laboratory boys developed certainly save time, and we have to decode in a hurry.
Oh, hold it, Peter. You started from the beginning.
Agent Robeson, Counterspy transmitter LC4, Tangier, North Africa, to Harding, headquarters, Washington. Carl Dietrich and his secretary, Nina Campo, left here by plane, 1500 Tangier time. According to passports, their destination is New York. Investigation shows Dietrich's departure was hasty and unexpected. It followed an overseas phone call with New York. That is all.
That tip you passed along the grapevine to Eric Wolf in New York worked, huh, Dave?
Looks that way, Peter.
You certainly pegged Wolf for the jittery type. He smells trouble, and right away he sends for Papa Dietrich. That was a smart stunt not to pull Wolf in for questioning.
Well, Wolf's only a small cog in Dietrich's setup, Peter. He's just the man who ships the supplies to the Marshall Plan countries.
And you want the big boy, Dietrich?
Yes. It's Dietrich who engineers the trick of getting such war potential items as oil, steel, and chemicals transshipped to his customers in nations outside the Marshall Plan.
Well, it looks like we'll be able to reel in the big fish now.
Yeah. As long as Dietrich was operating from his Tangier headquarters, he was out of our reach.
Now all we have to do is nail him when he steps off the plane in New York.
Well, I'm not having Dietrich picked up, Peter, yet. Dietrich's a shrewd operator. We need direct evidence against him.
So we go to New York there?
That's right, Peter. We go to New York and we stand by until Dietrich and Wolf give us the evidence we want.
J-12 to Mr. Harding, New York field office.
Go ahead, J-12.
Dietrich and Secretary Nina Campo registered at Hotel Tremont, Suites 1803 and 1804. Eric Wolf was waiting for them in lobby. The three have just entered Dietrich's suite. That is all.
Wolf, you'll join us in a drink, huh?
No, thank you, Mr. Dietrich.
You, Nina? Usual, I suppose.
The usual, Mr. Dietrich.
Mr. Dietrich, the grand jury convenes at the end of the week.
Yes, Wolf, I know.
How can you be so calm?
I have a calm nature.
I won't have a chance. My books they'll expose everything. I'll be finished. Something's got to be done. You've got to save me, Mr. Dietrich.
For heaven's sake, Wolf, stop that disgusting whining. Here's your drink, Nina.
Thank you, Mr. Dietrich.
Wolf, don't you realize I've as much to lose as you have? More. You think I ran the risk of coming here just for pleasure? I have millions at stake.
But if our account books are taken before the grand jury...
Let me worry about those books, Wolf. That should be Gratz, the gentleman I'm expecting. Nina, let him in, please.
Of course, Mr. Dietrich.
Nina.
Yes, Mr. Dietrich.
Keep that door to the foyer closed in case it is not locked.
Certainly.
Hello, Nina.
God. Well, come in. Why are you dressed in overalls?
It was Dietrich's idea, precaution. I'm posing as a hotel utility man.
Mr. Dietrich's in the other room waiting for you.
And you, Nina?
This will give you an idea.
Oh, Nina, darling. We shouldn't take chances like this.
Graz, how long do I have to go on working for Dietrich?
Nina, you took the job with Dietrich, so we'd have inside information on anything especially good.
But what's wrong with his knowing about us?
Then Dietrich wouldn't trust you. If we're going to get what we want, he must have complete faith in you. Nina, darling, I promise you, after this deal, we'll have enough money to be free of Dietrich forever. Now help me with these overalls. I better get inside.
Oh, Gratz, come in. I want you to meet Mr. Wolf. This is Mr. Gratz. Mr. Wolf?
How do you do? A pleasure.
Wolf, my old friend Gratz is going to attend to your account books. He's going to destroy them.
What? Destroy them? Well, that would give us away. You said so yourself.
I believe you have a supply of kerosene oil on hand in your warehouse.
Yes, for export next week.
That kerosene is not going to be exported.
Not?
Your warehouse is going up in smoke. I had Gratz come up from Argentina especially for the assignment. Gratz specializes in fires.
The Reichstag was my masterpiece.
Tomorrow morning, Wolf, Gratz will visit you at your warehouse. He will pose as an insurance inspector.
You will show me through the building, and I will select the best way to approach the problem.
The evening after next, Wolf, your warehouse will be destroyed. An unfortunate accident.
But, Mr. Dietrich, what if they find out it isn't an accident?
Wolf, I, Hans Gratz, am a perfectionist. When I create an accidental fire, believe me, it's accidental.
Peters in Patrol Car 3 to Harding, New York Field Office.
Go ahead, Peters.
Wolf just came out of the Hotel Tremont. He visited Dietrich for an hour.
All right, Peters. Have J12 keep on Wolf's trail.
Gotcha.
Also tell J9 to stick close to Dietrich when and if he leaves the hotel. And one more thing, Peters.
Yeah?
Assign a man to shadow Dietrich's secretary. I'm curious to see where Nina Campo fits into this picture.
Gratz, I waited for you this afternoon at your hotel. What happened?
My work at Wolf's warehouse took longer than I expected. I was going to call you here at your hotel, but I didn't want to take a chance with Dietrich around.
Well, he'll be coming out of the living room in a minute. First, I want to know something.
Anything, darling.
You said last night that after this deal we'd be free of him.
We will, I promise.
But he's paying you only $5,000. Darling, that's not enough money for us to get away and live.
I have a plan, Nina. A plan that will build that 5,000 into 100,000. Hello, Mr. Dietrich.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Gratz. Did, Miss Campo keep you entertained?
I'm afraid I'm dull company, Mr. Dietrich.
I don't think Gratz thinks so. Do you, Gratz?
Miss Campo is always pleasant to be with.
Nina, you see. Well, Gratz, how did your inspection trip go?
Excellent. I'm going back to the warehouse tonight to prepare for tomorrow evening.
And Wolf understands what his part is to be?
Perfectly.
I don't want any mistakes, Gratz.
Mr. Dietrich, there'll be no mistakes tomorrow night. Everything will go according to plan.
Harding, J12 is on the radio telephone with a report for him. Good. This is Harding. Relay J12 in on Circuit 5.
J12, Patrol Car 4, reporting to Harding.
Go ahead, J12.
Wolf left his apartment at 9 p.m. and drove around town for 50 minutes. He just parked his car outside his warehouse. He's been sitting there about, wait a second.
What is it?
He got out of his car. Now he's opening the warehouse door and going in.
Well, stand pat, J12. Don't follow him in. I don't want to scare him. Peters and I are on our way down.
This may be it, Peter. You think Wolf's going into his warehouse for his records, Dave?
Well, that's the way I expected him to react. If he does take those books out, he may deliver them to Dietrich. Let's go.
Gratz.
Over here, Wolf, near the rear door.
You're 3 minutes late, Wolf.
I waited outside a little first. You told me to make sure I wasn't seen coming in here. Is everything ready, Grant?
Of course.
Amazing. How simply Mr. Dietrich solves such difficult problems. I thought I'd never get out of this difficulty, but soon my worries will be over.
Yes, Mr. Dietrich is a remarkable gentleman.
Hadn't we better get over to the kerosene drums so you can start the fire?
Fire will start right here with this pile of Excelsior.
But the kerosene's at the other end of the building, near the office where the account books are. Gratz, we can't take a chance. The firemen may get here and put the fire out before it gets that far.
I told you, Wolf, I'm a perfectionist. Nothing can save this warehouse once I put a match to this Excelsior.
How can you be sure? How can you?
My dear Wolf, there are secrets to every trade. For example, look over there on the floor behind you.
Huh? Well, where do you mean? I don't see anything particular.
As you said before, Wolf, soon all your worries will be over. You were right. You and all your worries are going up in smoke.
Back to Counterspy in just a moment. But first,
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. Truthful glasses, that's a lot. Lot more value, lot more zest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
more and more among fellows and girls, among mothers and dads, you hear that sane and sensible question, why take less when Pepsi is best? No budget, no allowance ever had a better friend than tangy, sparkling Pepsi-Cola. Because one big 12-ounce Pepsi bottle gives you 2 delicious drinks. That's twice as much tangy taste, twice as much delicious Pepsi to go just twice as far. That's why more and more families say, why take less when Pepsi is best? Yes, families like yours and mine, families all over America, they're all saying, why take less when Pepsi is best?
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. Tastes terrific when you're hot. More and better than the rest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
Today, tomorrow, always. Get America's biggest cola value. Take home a carton of 6 big Pepsi bottles. Insist on Pepsi at the store. And say Pepsi at the fountain. Say Pepsi at the stand. Say Pepsi. Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
why take less when Pepsi's best?
And now, back to Counterspy. The street before the Wolf Warehouse is a black mass of people as 3 fire companies fight the towering flames. Back of the fire lines, David Harding, in a Counterspy patrol car, with his assistant, Harry Peters, is receiving a report from another agent.
Harding, I was waiting outside the warehouse for Wolf, as you ordered. About 5 minutes after he had entered, I saw the flames. I tried to get in there to save Wolf, but no go.
You better get those burns on your hands attended to, Edward.
Right.
Chief, I don't get it. Wolf walks into that warehouse, and 5 minutes later it goes up like a matchbox.
Well, it's got the fire marshal puzzle, too, Peters. That warehouse was equipped with every fire prevention device, including a sprinkler system.
The only angle I can see is that Wolf became panicky. He was afraid we were getting too close, so he decided to get rid of his books by faking an accidental fire. But he was trapped in the warehouse. You go along with me?
Well, that's a possibility, Peters, but there's also a possibility that Wolf got out by a rear exit. We should have had an agent at that rear exit.
Yes, but Dave, you agree with me about the books.
Yes, Peters, but I'm holding off any other speculation until we get a laboratory analysis of that fire.
Nina, come in, darling.
I can only stay a minute, Gratz. I told Dietrich I was going for a short walk. He said you told him everything went according to plan.
Almost.
Well, Dietrich said it was perfect.
It was, Nina. For us. But not for Dietrich.
I don't understand you.
I told you I'm going to build that $5,000 into $100,000. Remember?
Yes?
In that fire tonight, Dietrich got only one of the two things he wanted. Wolf's death. Unfortunately, the second thing, the account books, they were not burned in the flames.
What do you mean?
I removed the account books from the warehouse. They are now right here in my closet.
Oh.
It would have been a crime to destroy them for only $5,000. After all, Nina, such valuable documents. Really a crime, don't you agree, darling?
Yes. Yes. Dietrich could pay anything to get his hands on those books, wouldn't he?
100,000 will be enough. We mustn't be pigs.
Oh, Graz. Graz, you're wonderful.
Nina, I can hardly wait to see Carl Dietrich's face when I tell him the price is $100,000.
$100,000.
And well worth the price, Dietrich, don't you think?
$100,000. Blackmail. And to think I once trusted you, Graz.
Oh, we all make mistakes, Dietrich. Some are more expensive mistakes than others. Yours will cost you $100,000.
And what if I don't pay?
How can you afford not to pay? Your illicit trading business is worth millions of dollars to you. Why should you jeopardize it for a paltry $100,000? The grand jury meets Friday, Dietrich. I shall give you until Thursday to deliver the money.
I got your message to get over here to the field office right away, Dave. What's up?
The laboratory analysis on that fire is ready for us, Peter. First, that warehouse was set ablaze by probably the cleverest arsonist in the business.
Oh?
Next, the flames spread quickly because of oil in the warehouse.
That black smoke, We guessed that last night.
Yeah, but here's something we didn't guess. Our chemist found globules of kerosene oil in the sprinkler system pipes and valves. The sprinkler system was apparently loaded with kerosene instead of water. As the lab reconstructs it, the arsonist started a small fire in the rear of the warehouse.
The heat opened the sprinkler valves and the kerosene took care of the rest.
That's right.
A real professional job.
Well, how about Wolf? Traces of human bone were found in the ruins. There's no doubt Wolf died in that fire. There's a good possibility he was murdered.
Yes. It might have been convenient for Dietrich to get Wolf out of the way.
Very convenient. Dietrich would be burning two birds with one match.
We can't pick Dietrich up on that rap, Chief. According to our reports, he was in his hotel room all evening.
Yes, I know, but there's another... Harding.
J-12 reporting, sir.
Go ahead, J-12.
Nina Campbell left her room at the Tremont Hotel. She's now visiting room 907 at the Hotel Sergeant.
Okay, J-12, let me have a full report when Nina Campbell returns to the sergeant.
Right.
Nina Campbell? Hotel Sergeant, what's that about, Dave?
Dietrich's secretary, Nina Campbell, left her hotel last night, Peter.
You think maybe she's the one who put the torch to the warehouse?
No. Nina Campbell walked out of her hotel at 11, almost an hour after the fire began.
Where'd she go?
The same place where she is now, room 907 in the Hotel Sergeant. And Peter, the occupant of 907, is a man named Gratz.
Gratz?
A checkup shows he arrived in New York Sunday on a plane from Argentina.
Then maybe Gratz is the firebug.
It could be. There's more. J-12 got into the room next to his. He overheard Nino Campo and Gratz making arrangements to meet there this afternoon again.
Oh, it's too bad we haven't got a detector phone in there.
But we have. I had it installed this morning.
Oh, I might have known.
Peters, I'm very anxious to hear the recording of the conversation between Gratz and Nina Campo. There's no telling what interesting things those two are saying to each other. What did Dietrich say, Nina?
You'll get the money tomorrow, Glatz.
That's very sensible of Dietrich.
Now, it's wonderful to see him squirm. Glatz, are the books still in that closet?
Yes, of course. Why?
Well, they mean so much to us. I was concerned about your leaving them here.
They're perfectly safe, Nina.
You could never tell.
Nina, except myself, only one person knows where those books are. And I can trust you, can't I?
Of course, darling. Always.
Well, Peters?
Dave, this record winds it up for us.
Not quite.
Aren't you ever satisfied?
Yes, when I'm sure that people like Gratz and Dietrich get what they deserve, the electric chair.
And what's next?
Well, that's up to Gratz, and the way he feels about Nina Campbell.
What do you mean?
Well, something Gratz said to Miss Campbell. He said, "And I can trust you, can't I?" Peters, I have an idea that Gratz's faith in Miss Campbell is going to be sadly twisted.
Come in, Gratz. You haven't brought the books with you, Gratz. I have the money ready, but you were to bring the books.
I brought this instead.
What do you expect to accomplish with a gun? Hold me up.
We'll talk about it in the other room. Move along.
Very well.
Stand right there.
As you say.
Where's Nina Campbell?
Why?
Where is she?
In the next room.
Tell her to come in here.
What has she to do with this?
Dietrich, this gun can do ugly damage. Tell Nina Campbell to come in here.
Nina!
Yes, Mr. Dietrich?
Come in here, please.
Right away.
Now, really, Gratz, what is this all about?
As if you didn't know.
Yes, Mr. Dietrich, what is...
I was taken aback by Gratz's gun, too, Nina.
I don't understand, Gratz.
You can stop acting, both of you.
Mr. Dietrich, what's the matter with Gratz?
Nina, you really had me fooled. Every minute you spent with me was for him.
Gratz, I don't know what you're talking about.
You were just using me all the time.
Please. I don't understand.
Where are they, Nina?
They...
The books. Wolf's account books. The ones you stole from the closet in my hotel room.
I didn't, Gratz. You must believe me, I didn't.
A nice scheme Dietrich had, Nina. Using you to keep tabs on me. Very clever.
Believe me, I didn't steal those books.
You were the only one who knew where they were. And that's why you were so worried yesterday. You were afraid I'd hidden them somewhere else.
No.
And when I was out this morning, you came into my room.
That's not true. Ask Mr. Dietrich. Tell him, Mr. Dietrich. Tell him I haven't left here all day.
But, Nina, you did.
That's a lie. You know I wasn't out of here. Tell him the truth, Mr. Dietrich.
Nina left the hotel this morning and was gone for an hour.
Mr. Dietrich, you'll kill me.
What a pity.
Dietrich, it's a pity for both of you.
Believe me, Gratz, I had nothing to do with this. It's all quite new to me. Evidently, Nina has played us both for fools.
It won't work, Dietrich. You're both going to die.
Wait, Gratz, don't shoot.
Oh, I'm not going to shoot.
What?
I'm a perfectionist, remember. I deal in fire. Dietrich, you and Nina will have the same accident which disposed of Wolf. You see this metal tube? An incendiary. All I do is release the cap, then lock this door from the outside. In no time at all, it will be over for you, too.
Drop that gun, Gratz.
Never.
Oh, my hand.
Get his gun, Peters. Beside that chair. Got it,
You was going to kill us. Thank heavens you arrived. Whoever you are.
Dietrich, I don't think you'll like who we are.
What?
This is David Harding, chief of the United States Counterspies.
Counterspy?
Those account books of Wolf's. They're in the Counterspy New York field office, ready for presentation to the federal grand jury in the morning.
What?
Yes, Gratz, we got them out of your room, not Nina Campbell. I had an idea that their sudden absence would provide the evidence I wanted, and it did. Evidence, Gratz, that will finish both your career and Dietrich's in the electric chair.
When your friends drop in, be generous, but be thrifty, too. Serve plenty of delicious Pepsi-Cola. Pepsi's big 12-ounce bottle gives you not just one sparkling glassful, but two. Get a carton of 6 and serve 12 delicious drinks. Yes, Pepsi is America's biggest cola value. You get twice the tangy taste, twice the refreshment, twice the Pepsi. So why take less when Pepsi's best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
Pepsi-Cola, hits the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Lots more value, lots more zest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
tune in every Tuesday and Thursday, same time, same station, to Counterspy. Listen on Thursday for the exciting Counterspy case of the courageous Come On.
Our Counterspy case on Thursday is one of the most unusual we've yet presented. In this case, you'll meet the girl who was good at being bad until she saw a blind spot. The promoter who believed the sword was mightier than the pen and used it to escape. And the extraordinary half-man who had enough courage for 2 ordinary men. Be sure to be tuned in on Thursday, day after tomorrow, to
Case of the Courageous Come On Counterspy. Tonight's Counterspy program originated in New York, was directed by Leonard L. Bass, written by Edward J. Adamson, and featured Don McLaughlin and Mansell Kramer, with music by Jesse Crawford. Counterspy is a Phillips H. Lord production for Pepsi-Cola. Enjoy some Pepsi ice cold tonight.
This is David Harding. Because of the importance of tonight's Counterspy case, following our dramatization, there will be a special message from the Vice President of the United States of interest to all Americans.
Pepsi-Cola, P-E-P-S-I. That's your smartest cola buy. Pepsi-Cola presents Counterspy.
Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy. Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy.
Harding, Counterspy, calling Washington.
United States Counterspies, especially appointed to investigate and combat the enemies of our country, both at home and abroad.
Tonight, the case of a courageous Come On. Another Counterspy report to the American people. Brought to you each Tuesday and Thursday by Pepsi-Cola.
Pepsi-Cola, hit the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot.
That's right, you heard what they said. 2 full glasses of sparkling Pepsi from one big 12-ounce bottle. You're getting an extra glassful. And what a delicious glassful. The most refreshing, delightful cola that ever tickled your taste. You can't top Pepsi's tangy flavor. And that big, big bottle saves you money. Goes twice as far. Pepsi is America's big, big favorite. And America's biggest cola value. So why take less when Pepsi's best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
Why take less when Pepsi's best?
And now, to Counterspy. It is a scene truly out of the Old West. A dance and gambling hall crowded with hard-riding, fast-shooting men enjoying themselves, but at any moment ready for action. Suddenly, the swinging doors fly open. A tall, languid cowpoke stands framed in them. The crowd quiets down as the cowpoke ambles to the bar and stops in front of a well-dressed, shifty-eyed man.
Well, dude, it's sundown, and I'm still in town.
You don't take advice easy, Steve Morgan.
I'm choosy about whose advice I take, dude. I don't like yours. I give you 5 seconds to draw.
Now, look, Steve, you don't want to...
Okay, that's it. Cut! Camera will print that take. All right, boys, clear the set so we can do the fight scene next. Oh, Gary!
Well, how did it go, my great director? Okay?
Swell. Great, strong draw stuff.
Thanks.
You've got a visitor, Gary. Dr. Hobart Wayland. This is Gary Marlowe. Steve Morgan in this picture we're shooting.
Well, how do you do, Mr. Marlowe? It's quite a thrill meeting you in person after seeing you in so many films.
Well, thank you, Doctor.
May I present my assistant, James Dover?
Oh, hello, Mr. Dover. all right, Mr. Morrow. I can shake hands with my left. Get used to it after being without a right arm a couple of years. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't notice. Okay. Everyone spots the leg first.
Mr. Marlowe, is there somewhere we could talk privately?
Why, my dressing room. Just follow me.
To get to the point, Mr. Marlowe, I'm heading the Institute for Disabled Workers, and we're embarking on a large fundraising campaign.
Well, maybe I'd better save your time, Dr. Whalen. All my charitable contributions are handled by my business manager.
We're not looking for charity, Mr. Marlowe.
Jimmy?
Why is it every time you guys see somebody without an arm or a leg, you think of tin cups and begging?
Well, I'm sorry. I thought...
Sure, I know you thought we're looking for a handout. Charity, huh? Did you ever take any, Mr. Marlowe? It sticks in your craw.
Jimmy, you better wait outside.
I'm sorry, Doctor. Believe me, Mr. Dover, I didn't mean...
My fault, Mr. Marlowe. I fly off the handle too easy.
Wait outside, Jimmy. I'll finish our business with Mr. Marlowe.
All right, Doctor. I'm sorry again. I'm always being sorry. Doctor, I didn't mean to hurt him.
No one does. You see, Mr. Marlowe, that's what my institute is for. To educate the public to the abilities of disabled people. To accept a man, minus an arm and a leg like Jimmy, for instance, as a man, not a cripple.
Dr. Whalen, any way I can help you, I will.
Well, thank you, Mr. Marlowe. You can by contribution. Not of your money, but of your time.
Yes?
A month from now, we're holding a benefit in New York City. It's to raise money to set up a chain of industrial and liberal arts schools for the disabled, so they can become self-employed.
A month from now, you said?
Yes. And I'd like you, the famous Western film star, to be our master of ceremonies. We'll have a full program of stars and celebrities.
Well, I think I can do it, Dr. Whalen. I'll have to clear it with my agent in my studio, but that should be simple.
Splendid, Mr. Marlowe. Thanks for your cooperation. I'll have my secretary, Miss Vicky Brent, call you for a final confirmation. Good day, sir.
United States Counterspies, Washington, from United Stage and Screen Actors Union, pursuant to Tax Bureau Memorandum. This is to notify you that members of our union are being solicited to appear at a benefit performance for the Institute for the Disabled. Dr. Hobart Whalen, Director. We are notifying our members they may appear unless you notify us to the contrary.
Harding, the telegram just came in for you.
Let's see, Peter. Oh, yes.
What's it all about?
Oh, that's right. You were out of town on the Horn case when this memorandum was issued.
I must have been. I don't know what it refers to.
Charity benefit performances. The Tax Bureau has been having trouble with them.
Oh? How?
Well, in some instances, the tax regulations allow entertainers to deduct contributions of their services to charity just as if they had donated cash. But there were a number of benefits last year that were nothing but highly organized rackets.
Oh, I get it. The tax people wouldn't allow the deductions for playing those benefits.
That's right. So we've worked out an arrangement with them and the various entertainers' unions. They notify us of scheduled benefits. We make a routine investigation.
Do the sponsors of the benefits know about it?
Not if we give them a clean bill of health.
And if we don't?
No benefit. Unless they want to promote one for themselves in the penitentiary.
Fine. For once we get a chance to stop a crime before it's committed.
That's about it. So put this institute and this Dr. Hobart Whalen through a routine investigation, and then we can forget it. Unless, of course, it turns out to be not routine.
Yes, Mr. Marlowe? Well, this is Dr. Whalen's secretary. I'll give him your message just as soon as he gets back here to the office. And we'll see you in New York in a month. Goodbye.
The great Gary Marlowe, wasn't he?
Yes, Jimmy. He says he'll MC the benefit performance.
Wonderful.
You're not very enthusiastic about it, are you, Jimmy?
Sorry, Vicky, I've got the blues.
Vicky, Jimmy, I have splendid news.
What is it, Dr. Whalen?
Well, I've just talked to the management of Coliseum Hall in New York by transcontinental phone. They're going to let us have the hall for our benefit for just expenses. They're giving up their usual profit.
That's wonderful, Doctor. Isn't it, Jimmy?
Yeah, great.
Well, What's the matter?
Jimmy's a little down in the dumps today.
Oh?
Doctor, it's just that I haven't been doing anything. Just hanging around, acting like a pitch to soften people up. I walk in, they took a look at me, and they go woozy. And well, I can't stand the pity in their eyes when they see what the war did to me.
I know how you feel, boy. That's why your job is the toughest of all.
Yeah?
Because you've got to stand that pity. The misplaced pity of a lot of well-meaning people. You've got to do that so we can break the ground and educate them to know that you don't need pity. We've got to show people that a boy like you is well able to take care of himself. Show them in a dramatic manner that they'll never forget.
Maybe you're right, Doctor.
Of course I am. Now, I just made train reservations to New York. You go down to the station, get those tickets. On the double. And don't tell me that you can't do that with one leg. I know you better.
Okay, Dr. Whalen. Sorry. On a double.
Now, Vicky, think I set the boy straight?
No question about it.
Funny thing is, every word I said was true.
And you didn't mean a single one.
The important thing is, he thinks I did.
Yeah, he does.
Now, what's the matter with you, Vicky?
Him.
Him? You falling for that half man?
Shut up.
No, wait a minute.
I'm working this con game with you. That doesn't mean I have to like it.
But on this sudden distaste.
I just got a mental picture of Jimmy when he finds out that you and I are phony.
Really? Was he heartbroken?
Why don't
How
you...
the tears were streaming down his face. Touching sight.
Doc, what do you use for a heart?
A pump composed of animal tissue like every other human being.
Don't flatter yourself.
All right, I'll change that. Like every other animal in the jungle you call civilization.
Doc.
The survival of the fittest. The strong eat the weak. I'm strong, Vicky. The kid's a sucker. In fact, he's a cripple. Doesn't change that. Simply makes him better bait to lure on the healthy suckers.
Okay, Doc. No lectures.
Whatever you say, Vicky. Just don't turn into a sucker yourself.
It's a little late for me to change sides, I guess.
That's right. So snap out of it, Vicky. 2 more days, we head for New York.
Who is it?
Hey, Jimmy. Got it?
Sure, Jimmy, sure. The door's not locked.
I thought you'd be in the club car.
Got my own club car. Right here in my own compartment.
Oh. Well, I see. Do you get train sick? Is that why?
No, I just like a drink now and then. Nothing wrong with that, is there?
Oh, of course not, Vicky. If you want me to go...
Why should I want you to go? Sit down. Look at the scenery that goes by.
I've just been talking to Dr. Whalen.
Dr. Whalen? That calls for another drink. You want one?
Vicky, don't you think you've had enough?
I've had enough of something, but it's not this.
Okay.
What you looking at?
The countryside.
Oh.
Makes me kind of ashamed of myself.
You ashamed?
Look at it, Vicky. Wide and rolling. Those wheat fields. Pretty in the sun, aren't they?
So pretty.
The doctor's right.
The doctor? Oh, yes, Dr. Wade.
Vicky, I've decided something. This country's big enough for everything, everybody. The mountains we went through. The plains will be rolling over soon. There's room in it for every man, even a guy like me, a half... Sorry, Vicky.
The doc told you that, huh?
Yeah, but I added something of my own. Vicky, this country's big, but it needs me. I'm alive. I've got something to give it. Me and a million other men and women like me. Trouble is, it's kind of slow to wake up to the fact. Sort of stupid. But I'm going to help smarten it up.
You are?
Sure, Vicky, and you, too.
You know something, Jimmy? You know who's stupid?
No, Vicky, who?
You're stupid.
Oh,
and a sucker. Oh, what a sucker. You're not a strong one. You're not like the doc. You're not like me. Strong ones. That's me.
Vicky, what are you
And
talking
the
about?
doc. The doc. He couldn't even give you a prescription to buy a bandage in a drugstore.
Oh, Vicky, snap
No,
out.
you listen to me. tell you a beautiful story about a rat. A pretty rat. You think I'm pretty, don't you, Jim?
Now, Vicky, makes sense.
I wish I didn't, but I do. Jimmy, our organization is a phony, and the doc is a phony, and I'm a phony.
What are you saying?
What am I saying? I'm down off that crutch of yours. And I'll tell you.
Operator, I'm in a railroad station. I only have 8 minutes. I don't know the number, but I've got to talk to Counterspy headquarters in Washington, D.C. Mr. David Hardy.
Mr. Peters, call Mr. Harding right away. Mr. Peters, call Mr. Harding right away.
This is Peters, Sam.
Yes, Peters. Has anything come in on the investigation of that benefit for the disabled?
No, Chief. You said it was just routine.
Well, it's not routine anymore. Bring whatever you've got to my office. We've got to go to work. Fast.
Back to Counterspy in just a moment. But first...
Pepsi-Cola, hit the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Lot more value, lot more zest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
More and more, among fellows and girls, among mothers and dads, you hear that sane and sensible question, why take less when Pepsi's best? No budget, no allowance, ever had a better friend than tangy, sparkling Pepsi-Cola. Because one big 12-ounce Pepsi bottle gives you 2 delicious drinks. That's twice as much tangy taste. Twice as much delicious Pepsi to go just twice as far. That's why more and more families say, why take less when Pepsi's best? Yes, families like yours and mine. Families all over America. They're all saying, why take less when Pepsi's best?
Pepsi-Cola, hits the spot. Tastes terrific when you're hot. More and better than the rest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
Today, tomorrow, always, get America's biggest cola value. Take home a carton of 6 big Pepsi bottles. Insist on Pepsi at the store. And say Pepsi at the fountain. Say Pepsi at the stand. Say Pepsi whenever you reach for refreshment. Remember,
Why take less when Pepsi's best?
And now, back to Counterspy. He, Brent, are in a corridor of a large New York hotel. Jimmy raises his good arm to knock on the door of room 302, then pauses.
Sure you want to go through with this, Vicky?
I'm sure.
That girl.
Come in.
Come on. Mr. Hardy?
That's right, Mr. Dover. Come in. Sit down.
This is Miss Vicky Brent I told you about.
Yes.
Won't you sit down, Miss Brand?
Oh, yeah, thanks.
Why not sit back, Miss Brand? You don't look very comfortable perched on the edge of that chair.
I'm a little nervous.
No, it's all right, Vicky.
This is my assistant, Mr. Peters. Miss Brent, Mr. Dover.
How do you do,
Hello.
Mr. Peters?
Dover. Now, Mr. Dover, let's listen to you. What about this phony benefit you called me about?
Well, I told you about Dr. Wayland and my part in it.
Sketchily, yes. Well, we've already investigated Wayland. He has a long record as a confidence man and a chiseling promoter.
Well, I think Vicky, Miss Brent can give you a better picture of the setup than I can.
Oh, Miss Brent?
First, Mr. Harding, I want to get one thing straight.
Yes.
Jimmy's got a little blind spot about me. This isn't the first fake deal I've been in. The doc didn't con me into it. I knew what it was all about from the start.
I'm glad you said that, Miss Brent. It's a good beginning.
What?
We've been looking you up, too. Peters.
Victoria Brent, alias Barry, alias Brandon. Indicted for racetrack swindle, suspended sentence. Indicted as suspect in fur theft, probation, and some more.
I couldn't have hidden it if I wanted to.
Well, the important thing is you didn't want to. Now, will you tell your story?
Well, Doc Wayland got the idea to promote this benefit for disabled people. He called me in on the deal, and I went for it.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy was hired by the doc, and the doc gave him a song and dance about useful work and what a great project it was. Make the people aware of the ableness of the disabled.
And I went for it hook, line, and sinker.
No reason you shouldn't, Mr. Dover. It's a great idea.
I'm keeping that in mind. Go ahead, Miss Brent.
Well, with Jimmy to go around with them and soften them up, the doc promoted half the big names in Hollywood. Well...
Say it, Vicky. They'd take one look at me and drown in their own pity.
I'm sorry, Jimmy.
And now we're supposed to pull the same stunt with the Broadway and radio stars, only I'm not supposed to know that's what it is.
We'll come back to that, Jimmy. Go on, Miss Brent.
The doc set up a phony outfit. The Institute for the Disabled. Chartered in some state out west.
Yes, with himself as the sole trustee for the Institute. Yes, we've checked that.
That's right. He was going to send a check for the proceeds of the benefit to the Institute, all right. And be there himself to receive it.
He expected to get away with something that wrong?
No, Mr. Peters, but he expected to be out of the country by the time it was found out.
Well, how far has the organization gone?
All the way. Tickets, advertising. He's even got a Coliseum Hall lined up. Now he just wants to line up some more names.
I notice he's scaled the prices on the tickets from $10 up to $1,000. He's no pocket.
Well, anything else, Miss Brent?
No, that's it. I'm glad it's finished.
Yeah, and I guess I'm kind of sorry.
What?
Well, at least somebody was interested in guys like me. Finding out that disabled guys can do lots of jobs as well as they did before they were cracked up.
Jimmy, don't say that.
You know, it's funny. The only guy interested was a crook. And now he won't be around.
Jimmy, I think he may be. For a little while.
What?
I don't get it, Mr. Hardy.
When we make an arrest, it's for the good of society. But I'm not sure this case is as simple as that.
Why, I don't understand, Mr. Hardy.
Well, I may be sticking my neck out. But if we plan the how and when of Dr. Whalen's arrest, we'd be doing a lot more for society than we would by picking him up right now.
How's that, Mr. Hardy?
I've got an idea that might work if Jimmy and Vicky will cooperate.
Oh, anything you say, Mr. Hardy.
There'll be some risk.
Vicky?
I've gone along with you this far, Jimmy. I'll go all the way.
Good. Now make yourselves comfortable. I'll tell you my plan.
Crowd, Jimmy. I never figured they'd turn out like this. The Coliseum's jammed.
Yeah, but I'm wondering where's Dr. Whalen?
He'll be here. You stop worrying.
Well, Mr. Harding's too swell about this. I'd hate for him to get in a jam. So you don't think Doc Whalen's wise, do you?
Jimmy, you don't think I tipped him.
Oh, no. No, Vicky. I know you couldn't. What I think about you, well, a guy like me shouldn't.
Jimmy?
Mm-hmm.
How do you know I couldn't cross you out? Tell me.
Oh, Vicky. Oh, there's Doc Whalen. I guess he just came in.
And looking so happy.
Hello, Jimmy and Vicky. Splendid crowd. Splendid.
Where were you, Doctor? We were getting worried.
Just checking up at the box office, Jimmy. Don't you think it's time Gary Marlowe started the program?
Yeah, sure, Doc. I'll tell.
He's right over there.
Say, Mr. Marlowe.
Oh, yes, Jimmy?
You want me to begin?
Yeah, right away.
Oh, and, Mr. Marlowe, don't forget that first guest. He'll be kind of a surprise for everybody.
How could I forget him? Well, here we go.
Good luck, Mr. Marlowe.
Going to start, Jimmy?
Yeah, right away, Dr. Whalen. Let's sit here close and enjoy the show. Huh?
I intend to. We put a lot of work in it.
We've all put a lot of work in it, Doc.
Thank you. Before we begin the show, there's a special guest I'd like to introduce right now, as he has to leave shortly on urgent business. In fact, this gentleman is always on urgent business. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to present the Chief of the United States Counterspy, Mr. David Harding.
Harding. Jimmy, how did this happen?
Special guest, Dr. Whalen. I thought it was great we could get him. He doesn't make many public appearances.
Ah, yes. Great.
Thank you, Mr. Marlowe. Later on, I want to ask you about a trade secret. In those Western films of yours, how do you get 50 to 100 shots out of one 6-shooter revolver? The counterspies could use a trick like that. But seriously, ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to be here. For the purpose of this benefit is of major importance to America. It's wonderful that more and more of us realize that the disabled can take their places as useful citizens. This occasion is to see that they get their chance, not as a charity, but as a right. And now, will the organizers of this great event come over here? Both of you. Dr. Hobart Whalen. Thank you, Mr. Harding. And Jimmy Dover. Now, I have a surprise for the audience. An actual arrest here on the platform. Ladies and gentlemen, splendid as this affair is, it has one black mark. It was organized by a confidence man, a swindler, a crook. This man here, Dr. Hobart Whalen. Jimmy, I want you to arrest him. I'm getting up. On with him, Doc. This crutch has got nothing besides bleeding up. Pretty good for a supposedly disabled man, wasn't it? Now, while my assistant Harry Peters helps Mr. Dover remove the prisoner, I'll tell you, the audience, why we did not cancel this benefit weeks ago, even though we knew the promoter was a crook. We didn't stop it because the cause is close to our hearts. The counterspies employ many so-called disabled men and women. They hold key positions in our code division, communications, and others. So we allowed this benefit to go on. And you may rest assured that at the suggestion of the President's Committee on National Employ the Physically Handicapped Week, your money will go to a legitimate organization interested in this problem. And now, here is Gary Marlowe with the rest of the show.
Golly, Mr. Harding, that was wonderful, wasn't it?
It certainly was.
How's Whalen?
He's unhappy, Dave. Two of our agents are taking him down to our field office to be booked.
Well, then that winds up things, Jimmy.
Except for me, Mr. Harding.
Yeah. What about Vicky, Mr. Harding?
Well, she'll have to testify against the doctor, of course.
What will that
means jail as a material witness.
Jail?
Of course, if someone would accept responsibility, Vicky could be paroled in his custody.
Oh, I'll do that, Mr. Harding.
But, Jimmy, you don't...
Oh, Vicky, we've stuck together this long. I can stand it a little longer if you can. Okay, Mr. Harding?
Okay, Jimmy. In fact, from the sound of things, I'd say very okay. And by the way, when you find time, get in touch with me about becoming a regular counterspy. Will you, Jimmy? Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to present the following message, especially prepared for this Counterspy broadcast, by the Honorable Alban W. Barkley, Vice President of the United States.
Today's disabled veterans and handicapped workers have the full support of the United States government in their quest for suitable employment opportunities. The President of the United States has established a special civilian committee to lend assistance in discharging this national responsibility of providing work for qualified handicapped men and women. The response by businessmen, industrialists, and labor officials has been highly gratifying. But we must intensify our efforts so that a war wound or an industrial accident is not a one-way ticket to the sidelines. I ask your continued interest in those handicapped workers presently employed and added opportunities for those seeking work. I urge all Americans to remember that ability is much more important than disability.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vice President. Next week's Counterspy case deals with the teenage terrors who worshipped a heel. The stolen loot that was paid for with a wet handkerchief and hard cash. And the underworld mobster who pulled a switch and continued to be a right guy. Be sure to tune in next Tuesday to the case of the Flatbush Fagin on Counterspy. And remember, when your friends drop in, be generous, but be thrifty, too. Serve plenty of delicious Pepsi-Cola.
Pepsi's big 12-ounce bottle gives you not just one sparkling glassful, but two. Get a carton of 6 and serve 12 delicious drinks. Yes, Pepsi is America's biggest cola value. You get twice the tangy taste, twice the refreshment, twice the Pepsi. So why take less when Pepsi is best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
Pepsi-Cola, hits the spot, 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Lot more value, lot more zest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
Tonight's Counterspy program originated in New York, was directed by William M. Sweets, dramatized by Palmer Thompson, and featured Don McLaughlin and Mandel Kramer, with music by Jesse Crawford. Counterspy is a Phillips H. Lord production for Pepsi-Cola. Enjoy some Pepsi ice cold tonight. Pepsi-Cola, P-E-P-S-I. That's your smartest cola buy. Pepsi-Cola presents Counterspy.
Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy. Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy.
Harding, Counterspy. Calling Washington.
United States Counterspies, especially appointed to investigate and combat the enemies of our country, both at home and abroad.
Tonight, the case of the Flatbush Fagin. Another Counterspy report to the American people. Brought to you each Tuesday and Thursday by Pepsi-Cola.
Pepsi-Cola, hits the spot, 2 full glasses, that's a lot.
That's right, you heard what they said. 2 full glasses of sparkling Pepsi from one big 12-ounce bottle. You're getting an extra glassful. And what a delicious glassful. The most refreshing, delightful cola that ever tickled your taste. You can't top Pepsi's tangy flavor. And that big bottle saves you money. Goes twice as far. Pepsi's America's big favorite. And America's biggest cola value. So why take less when Pepsi is best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
Why take less when Pepsi's best?
And now, to Counterspy. Unfortunately, it is happening almost every day and night. In Detroit, the darkened windows of a store, the stealthy figures of 2 boys approaching, then hands reaching in among the goods on display, and escape. Or, in Los Angeles, late at night, a suburban resident nears his home, when suddenly from behind... Young lawbreakers seem to be everywhere, in St. Louis, Boston, Philadelphia, and in Brooklyn, where juvenile gangs are organized on the highest level.
Wait a minute, gang! Hold it! Before we go out on the rumble against the Crescents, our president, Whitey Benson, wants to say something to you members of the Blue Jays.
Now, Chris told you guys how some of them characters from the Crescents pushed one of our boys around this afternoon again. Now, this is the last time they get away with it, see? Tonight, we're putting them Crescents out of business. Like I told you when I organized the Blue Jays, you leave everything to Whitey Benson. We're going places, see? And we ain't going to be in this crummy cellar for long, either. Soon we're going to have a real classy clubhouse, pool tables and all. Us Blue Jays is going to end up the top dog outfit in Brooklyn.
Hey!
Steve,
Yeah, Whitey?
you and Chris take your boys and brief them for the Rumble like I laid it out.
Gotcha, Whitey.
Okay. Now, all you guys will get your instructions from my two ace men. We move in on the Crescent's clubhouse at 10:30 tonight.
It's 10:28, Whitey.
All set, Steve.
Yeah, all set. My boys have their bats and axes ready.
Be quiet, you guys. We march on them in a minute. Steve, what about Chris?
Don't worry about Chris, Whitey. He'll be on time with his guys. He's not due at the corner down there until 10:29. There he is now.
Yeah. He's signaling us. Now remember, Steve, the cops come before we finish those Crescents scatter. I'll meet you and Chris back at the clubhouse after we tie this up.
Right. 10:29, Whitey. Should I give Chris the signal?
Yeah. Let's go. Come on, gang. This is it.
Hey, come on!
You two ace men of mine done a swell job tonight.
And that finishes the Crescents for good, huh, Whitey?
Yeah, Steve. For real.
Now they ain't got no more clubhouse, they'll come around begging to join us Blue Jays.
That was the main idea I had, Chris. Before we're finished, we're taking in every club in his territory. Now, the reason I had you and Steve meet me here at the clubhouse is extra special.
What's up, Whitey?
Tomorrow night I got a little caper planned for just the three of us.
What kind of caper?
Something real special. Pull up chairs and listen close to what I got to say. Tomorrow night, I'm breaking you two into the big time. Got everything straight, Steve?
Yeah, I think so, Whitey. I stand here in the corner and keep my eyes open. If I see a flatfoot coming, I give the signal to Chris in front of the store.
That's it, Steve. Chris, let's go.
Whitey. Listen, Whitey.
What are you shaking in your pants about, Chris?
I never did nothing like this before. Weren't you scared the first time?
I was never scared. Not my whole life.
I just hope there won't be no trouble.
Didn't I tell you the old dame who runs the store, she's got one foot in the grove already? She'll take a squint of my zip gun and do just like I tell her.
Oh, you won't have to use the gun, will you, Whitey?
Oh, Chris, stop acting like you was just out of kindergarten. Here's the store. Don't forget. Keep a watch for Steve's signal. I'll be out in less than 5 minutes.
Hey, young fella, what can I do
Get
for
back at a cash register and open.
What?
This is a stick-up, Mama. Do like I tell you.
You don't scare me, you rotten little hoodlum. You hoodlum,
Mama,
you...
you got just 2 seconds to open that cash register.
That toy gun you got? I'm not scared.
You'll see what kind of toy this 22 is if you don't get started. Go on, move.
I'm not moving an inch. I know kids like you. Sneaky cowards, dirty little hoodlums, bluffers.
Hoodlum. Bluffer, huh?
Whitey, what? Whitey, you shot her.
Sure. She got out of line.
She's waking up. Whitey, I thought you killed her.
Get out of my way, Chris.
What are you going to do? Why are you loading your gun again?
Let go. The old dame's got too good a tag on me. You know I'm on probation. They'll send me up for 20. Now look out.
Whitey, don't do it, please.
Come on. Let's get out of here.
Mr. Harding, there's a Miss Catherine my appointment?
Oh, yes. Come in, Miss Griffin. Oh, Miss Griffin, nice to see you again.
Yes, let me move this chair closer.
Thank you. Mr. Harding, you recall our talk last year during the National Police Conference in Washington.
Oh, of course, Miss Griffin. Are you still attached to the juvenile court in Brooklyn?
In charge of the probation section now.
Oh, and having a rough time.
Very rough. I learned you were here in the New York Counterspy field office, and I realize, Mr. Harding, you're a busy man, but I hoped you could spare me a little time.
Oh, certainly, Miss Griffin.
Of course, Mr. Harding, juvenile delinquency in Brooklyn doesn't come under counterspy jurisdiction.
Well, Miss Griffin, juvenile delinquency has ceased to be a local problem. Besides, we're always ready to lend a hand wherever we can, and from all reports, you people in Brooklyn have a big problem.
Mr. Harding, we estimate there are at least 70 juvenile gangs with a membership of over 6,000.
Not a pretty picture, is it?
It gets uglier every day, Mr. Peters. Their numbers are increasing and their crimes get worse. They've gone from gang wars to thievery to murder. Why, just 2 days ago, a store owner in the Red Hook section was shot by .22 caliber bullets. His gun was later found in a vacant lot, a homemade weapon. Zip gun, they call it.
Yes, I think we have one of those right here. Sent to us for inspection. Made out of a block of wood, antenna wire, a door lock, and spring.
And a lethal weapon it is. In the last month, we've arrested 5 boys carrying guns like that. Each boy was under 17. One was only 13. Our main problem is the unhealthy fear these boys have for officers of the law.
Miss Griffin, that unhealthy fear you mentioned interests me.
When a boy joins a gang, he's taught to hate and fear policemen. They immediately become his mortal enemies.
And naturally, the kings of the underworld become his heroes.
I call it negative hero worship. It's one of the big obstacles in our path. The moment these boys see a police uniform, they run.
Now, Peters, Miss Griffin has just given me an idea. Let's take advantage of this negative hero worship and prove to these youngsters there's a difference between a hero and a heel.
Traffic light just changed. There's the sucker walking toward us. Get ready, Steve.
Right, Whitey.
Bump him so hard he takes a good flop. Chris.
I'm listening, Whitey.
No matter what, you stick here in the doorway.
Right.
Watch how this sucker is handled.
Oh, gee, mister, I'm sorry. I didn't see you.
Look, we were gone. You won't have to be sorry.
Steve, I told you to watch out, didn't I?
Oh, yeah, Whitey, but...
Mister, don't mind this jerky pal of mine. He's always bumping into somebody.
I told him, man, I was
Shut
sorry.
up. Here, mister. Let me give you a hand.
Thanks, kid.
You ain't hurt, are you, mister?
No. Got to tell your little pal to keep his eyes in front of him. Someday he'll bump into the wrong guy.
Someday I'll bump into the wrong guy. Hey, you characters, how you like that for that? Pretty good, huh?
Hey, with some of that dough, we can fix up this club room, huh, Whitey? How much in the wallet, Whitey?
$80, Steve.
80?
You sure done it smooth, Whitey. You gotta have a touch to let a sucker smart, Chris. A touch. Light and easy, so he never knows what hit him. I can pick him, man. Just the way the schmo was dressed, I could tell he was loaded. It's like a talent. Gotta be able to spot...
Whitey, they only knocked twice.
Yes. They didn't give the right high sign.
Hey, maybe it's the cops, Whitey. What are we going to do?
Pipe down, both of you.
Come on, open up.
Whitey, it is the
I
cops.
told you to pipe down.
I know you're in there. Open up or I'll bust the door down.
You guys keep butting. I'll do the talking.
I'll give you one more second. Open the door.
Okay. Keep your shirt on. I'm coming.
All right, smart guy. Let's have the wallet.
Wallet? What wallet you talking about, mister?
I suppose the next thing you're going to say is you don't know me.
That's right. Never saw you before.
What about your pal here, this one?
Me? You mean me, mister?
I don't mean your grandmother.
We never saw you before either, mister. Did you, Steve?
No.
You're the two little punks who rolled me on 12th Street 15 minutes ago.
Us? Roll? Got us mixed up with somebody else, mister. This here is the Blue Jays pub room. We was having a meeting.
We've been here all the time. Right, Chris?
Oh, sure. We've been here all the time, Whitey.
You see, mister?
Come on, hand over the wallet.
I told you, mister.
Hand it over. The wallet, sonny boy, with the $80.
You busted my arm. Stop, will you?
When I get the wallet.
Stop.
Well,
Okay, let go, will you? Let go.
it's more like it.
It's in my back pocket right here. Hey, the wallet ain't there.
Because I got it right here in my hand.
What?
You gotta have the touch to roll a sucker smart, Whitey. The touch. Light and easy, so he never knows what hit him.
Whitey, he was outside all the time. He home.
The next time you and your boys try a roll, you better be sure of the mark you pick out. For all you chumps know, I might have been a cop just laying for you.
Then you're not a cop?
I look like one?
No.
Why? If you looked at the cards in my wallet, you'd know who I am. Dutch Malloy.
Dutch Malloy? You hit Dutch Malloy from that Chicago mall?
Is there another one?
Dutch Malloy. Chris, how you like that? Of all the guys to pick Dutch Malloy, out of everybody walking the streets of Brooklyn, Whitey picks Dutch Malloy to roll. Of all the guys, Dutch Malloy. Cut it off,
What's the matter, Whitey? No sense of humor?
So I make one mistake. So what? Anybody can make a mistake, can't they?
If you want to stay in this business, you don't make no mistakes. Not even one.
Hey, Dutch, what are you doing here in Brooklyn?
You gonna be around long, Dutch?
Couple of weeks, Chris. Why?
Well, if you had some extra time, maybe you could come around and give us some pointers, huh?
Some tips on the ins and outs of the business.
Hey, what do you want to bother Dutch with this kid stuff for? Dutch is a busy guy. Ain't you, Dutch?
No, Whitey. Not too busy. You got a lot to learn, a whole bunch of you. I'm going to take personal pleasure in teaching each of you how things should be done right. Okay?
In just a moment, we'll return to Counterspy, brought to you by Pepsi-Cola.
Pepsi-Cola, hit the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Lot more value, lot more depth. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
More and more, among fellows and girls, among mothers and dads, you hear that sane and sensible question, why take less when Pepsi is best? No budget, no allowance ever had a better friend than tangy, sparkling Pepsi-Cola. Because one big 12-ounce Pepsi bottle gives you 2 delicious drinks. That's twice as much tangy taste, twice as much delicious Pepsi to go just twice as far. That's why more and more families say, why take less when Pepsi is best? Yes, families like yours and mine, families all over America, they're all saying, why take less when Pepsi is best?
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. Tastes terrific when you're hot. More and better than the rest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
Today, tomorrow, always. Get America's biggest cola value. Take home a carton of 6 big Pepsi bottles. Insist on Pepsi at the store. And say Pepsi at the fountain. Say Pepsi at the stand. Say Pepsi. Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
why take less when Pepsi's best?
And now, back to Counterspy. 2 weeks later, a man cautiously enters an all-night drugstore and heads for a phone booth to make a call.
This is Dutch Malloy. Listen, 8:30 tomorrow night. Bench at the front end of the DeKalb Avenue subway station, downtown side. Got it? DeKalb Avenue Station, 8:30 tomorrow night.
Undercover man. Mr. Harding, this is one assignment I'm not enjoying, not the least bit.
What's wrong, Peter?
Well, it's the way that whole gang, especially those 2 kids, Chris and Steve, look up to me.
Dave, honestly, it makes me sick inside the way they think that Dutch Malloy is such a hotshot.
Well, that's why you're there, Peter.
I know, but they're not really bad kids. It's the leader of the Blue Jays who's all the way off the track. That Whitey Benson is the rotten apple in the barrel.
Yes, our files show Whitey has a bad record.
He sold all the other kids a bill of goods, made them cop haters. He gets the others to follow him either through admiration or strong-arm tactics. Till I came into the picture, Whitey's word was law, but I know the punk is yellow.
Well, then your work's cut out for you, Peter. Show Whitey up to the others for what he really is.
That's not going to be such a cinch.
Well, first you'll have to win the complete confidence of all the other boys.
If I can, in time. Whitey has planned a job for Pull in another day or so.
Oh?
A bicycle shop on 10th Street. Whitey has it set for them to steal 3 of the bikes that the owner of the shop has displayed on the sidewalk outside.
Oh.
See the spot I'm in, Dave? I can't let those kids steal the bikes.
Well, of course you can, Peters. But maybe there's a way of out-masterminding Whitey Benson at bicycle stealing.
Nothing, Dutch.
Maybe you don't like the way I'm handling this operation, huh?
No, only me and Chris and Steve could do it without bothering you.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm just lending you guys a hand. Of course, if you want me to step out...
Oh, no, Dutch. We don't want you to do that. We're all for what you're doing for us, huh, Chris?
Sure, Steve. How many chances do you get to learn from a real professional like Dutch Malloy?
Okay. Now, remember... Watch me through the store window. You know the signal.
Yeah. When you wipe your face with your handkerchief, we grab the bikes and start pedaling.
I'll see you back at the club room later.
Well, mister, how can I help you?
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm, interested in some bikes.
Oh, yes, sir. Any particular type? I got all types.
Well, I saw those 3 that you have on the sidewalk outside the store. Hot tonight, huh?
Yeah, mighty muggy. Yeah, I guess we'll have some rain. My corns are acting up.
Yeah. Soak this handkerchief right through.
Yeah. You were talking about bicycles.
Yeah. What's the price on all 3 of them?
All 3? Well, no, I'm trying to clear out my stock, and I can have all 3 for... Hey, those boys out there.
What's the matter?
They're getting away with my bike.
Now, hold it, buddy, hold it.
Let go of me. They're stealing my bike.
Now, take it easy.
I gotta stop.
They're not stealing those bikes. I'm buying them.
What?
Those kids are friends of mine. I'm buying those bikes for them.
But holy jump.
How much are they?
Oh, how much? Well, that's different. Well, they're 30. $5 a piece.
That's $105 for all 3.
Yes, sir, that's right. For 105 skins.
60. 105. Here you are.
Well. Thank you, mister. You know, those bikes are a real bargain at that price.
I know. They're practically a steal.
Good work, Peters. You must have convinced Chris and Steve all right.
$105 is a high price for being convincing, Dave.
Put it on your expense account.
Under what? Petty theft?
By the way, how is Whitey Benson taking it?
Like a slow burn, Dave. If you ask me, I don't think Whitey's going to be satisfied with sitting on the sidelines much longer.
Your job then, Peters, is to expose Whitey as a coward right in front of his ace man.
Right, Dave. But I'll have to wait for just the right setup.
There, you 2. Take a look at that.
A rod.
A real one.
Yeah, 38.
Where'd you get it, Whitey?
From a friend. Picked it up in Germany. I bought it from him.
What do you want a gun for, Whitey?
For our next job.
Well, Whitey, Dutch says only a sucker carries a gun.
Remember? Dutch says if you're caught with a gun...
Dutch says. I'm sick of that Dutch stuff.
Oh, but Dutch knows, Whitey. He's been around.
Well, I've been around, too, plenty. And I was okay with you guys before he come in the picture, wasn't I? Now I'm going to show you guys how I can handle a heist as good as he can. Better. Anybody here say I can't?
We're not saying you can't. Why
Well,
don't...
button up and listen if you want to stay being my ace man. There's a warehouse across the street from Pier 13. They got a bunch of radios piled up in there, and it's a pushover to get in through a side door. I'll pull on that job at 11 tonight. Got it?
Yeah, Whitey.
Sure. Steve?
All right, Whitey. Whatever you say.
And get this through your heads, both of you. Dutch is out of the picture. If either of you let on to Dutch about this job tonight, so help me, I'll take this gun, I'll blow your heads off. All right, you two. Follow me. Radio's up all over the other end of the warehouse. Hold it.
What's the matter, Whitey?
The watchman, Chris. Coming this way.
You better beat it before...
I'll take care of the watchman. Come on, behind this crate. Here he comes. I'll get him from the back when he goes by.
You reach it, right? Now, fold your hands on top of your head and keep them folded.
Okay. I'll turn around.
Hello, Whitey. Dutch. You can put your gun away.
How'd you get here?
Didn't I tell you only a sucker carries a gun?
What are you doing here? Who taught you? Oh, Steve, Chris, they taught you, huh? You monkeys taught them, didn't you?
Whitey, we thought we better.
Dirty, stinking double-cross.
Don't take it out on them, Whitey. Tackle somebody your own size.
Done to cross me up the little yellow bellies. Some stunt to pull on a pal.
What do you mean, pal? You're nobody's pal, Whitey. You're strictly out for yourself. You're just pulling this job tonight to prove you're a big shot, but you're just a cheap little four-flusher.
Yeah?
Yeah. You even told these kids you're only 18, but you're 21, 5 years older than any of them. You didn't have the guts to go up to the big boys, so you got yourself a bunch of kids to use to push around.
Shut up.
The truth dig too deep,
Whitey. Set her up. Fill your face with lead. Right here.
You haven't got the guts to tackle me. I know you haven't.
Yeah, well, ask Steve. Ask Chris. Ask him how I drilled that dame last month without even blinking an eyelash.
Talk, Whitey. That's your idea of guts, killing an old lady who couldn't fight back. All right, drop the gun. Here, you drop it or you end up flat on your face.
I'll kill you.
All right, we'll do it the hard way.
I'll get him, Dutch.
We'll take care of the gun, Chris.
What? Dutch?
These are friends of mine, Steve. Come on, Whitey. Get on your feet. Here he is, Mr. Harding, all yours.
Harding?
That's right, David Harding, Chief of the United States Counterspies.
Trying to cops.
Counterspies?
Conway,
Yes, Mr. Harding.
take Whitey Benson along.
Right.
Turn him over to the police to be booked for murder.
Yes, sir. Okay, big shot. Get moving.
Why don't you pinch him? That's Malloy. He's the guy you want to grab.
Never mind that, squealer. Okay, Conway.
Please give me a break. Give me a break. Will you? I need nothing, please.
Dutch, I don't get this. You're in with the cops, Dutch.
Fellows, you've just had one surprise. Your hero, Whitey Benson, turned out to be a heel. Now, here's another surprise for you. Your friend Dutch Malloy isn't Dutch Malloy at all.
Not Dutch.
He's my assistant, Harry Peters. The real Dutch Malloy has been in our custody for a month.
A cop, Chris. And we thought he was a right guy. A cop.
So now you two know what I am. You put me down as the wrong guy. That it?
Well, we didn't know a cop who could be...
A right guy? Is that what you're trying to say, Chris?
Yeah, I guess so.
The cops are just like anybody else once you get to know them. The trouble with you boys is you never gave yourself a chance to know them. They're more on your side than hoodlums like Whitey Benson. You found that out tonight, didn't you? If it hadn't been for Peters here, you'd have ended up in real trouble. And behind bars.
You mean you're not arresting us?
No. But you two still have some things to settle. Those bicycles.
We still got them. Yeah, Mr. Harding. But we'll give them back.
You can't do that now. Dutch, or rather Mr. Peters here, paid for them. You two boys are going to keep those bicycles. But you're going to work to pay for them.
What do you mean by that, Mr. Harding?
You're both going to get straightened away with the law. And then I hope you can prove to other kids like you that a cop isn't such a bad guy after all.
Gee, thanks. You're a swell guy, Mr. Harding.
When your friends drop in, be generous, but be thrifty, too. Serve plenty of delicious Pepsi-Cola. Pepsi's big 12-ounce bottle gives you not just one sparkling glassful, but two. Get a carton of 6 and serve 12 delicious drinks. Yes, Pepsi is America's biggest cola value. You get twice the tangy taste, twice the refreshment, twice the Pepsi. So why take less when Pepsi is best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Lots more value, lots more zest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
Tune in every Tuesday and Thursday, same time, same station, to Counterspy. Listen on Thursday for the exciting Counterspy case of a hot car killer.
From a hideout high above New York, a master criminal brain moved human beings and stolen automobiles like pawns in a chess game of life and death. For the blazing facts in this case, I invite you to tune in on Thursday, day after tomorrow, for the case of a hot car killer on Counterspy. Tonight's Counterspy program originated in New York, was directed by Leonard L. Bass, dramatized by Edward Adamson, and featured Don McLaughlin and Mandel Kramer, with music by Jesse Crawford. Counterspy is a Philip H. Lord production for Pepsi-Cola. Enjoy some Pepsi, ice cold tonight. Cold tonight. Pepsi-Cola, P-E-P-S-I. That's your smartest cola buy. Pepsi-Cola presents Counterspy.
Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy. Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy.
Harding, Counterspy, calling Washington.
United States Counterspies, especially appointed to investigate and combat the enemies in our country, both at home and abroad.
Tonight, the case of a hot car killer. Another Counterspy report to the American people. Brought to you each Tuesday and Thursday by Pepsi-Cola.
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot.
That's right, you heard what they said. 2 full glasses of sparkling Pepsi from one big 12-ounce bottle. You're getting an extra glassful. And what a delicious glassful. The most refreshing, delightful cola that ever tickled your taste. You can't top Pepsi's tangy flavor. And that big, big bottle saves you money, goes twice as far. Pepsi's America's big, big favorite. And America's biggest cola value. So why take less when Pepsi is best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
why take less when Pepsi's best?
And now to Counterspy. A bright, brisk fall afternoon. Around the dirt track roar a dozen low-slung racing cars. Sudden death, an added passenger in every one. Axles brush on the straightaways, tires scream as they skid on turns, then straighten out again. A man wearing the armband of an official of the track runs to the pit of car number 18.
Hey, you! Yeah? Are you the mechanic of car 18, driver Joe Stacy?
What's the matter?
This is an official order. Flag him down.
Call him out. He's like the way.
I said stop him. Now, he's just coming in the straightaway. Here's your flag. Use it.
Okay. Here he comes.
The idea of holding me in. Stacy, this track will not tolerate dangerous, irresponsible drivers like you. We're hereby forbidding you to finish this race. And we're going to see to it that you're barred from every other track in the country. Now get yourself in your car out of here in a hurry.
Holy smoke, Joe. What are you going to do now?
No problem, Mitch. Back in New York, my future's all taken care of. I got a wonderful, beautiful connection there. Red hair.
Hello?
Hello, honey. Joe Stacy. I'm calling you from Chicago.
Joe, darling, as if I didn't know. You coming to New York?
I got her, Laura. I've been bouncing bounce off the tracks for good.
Oh, Joe.
After I take a good long look at you, I'm going to need eating money. You got any ideas?
Sure, Joe. I'm a business career woman now.
What?
I'm a secretary. Private secretary to a corporation. The corporation is 5'8", 150 pounds with gray hair and a big fat bank account.
So how do I fit in?
Leave that to me, Joe. I'll get you a job with my corporation. I'm going over to his apartment now. Joe, it's a penthouse with overstuffed chairs, soft as marshmallows, and a view of New York. There's only one real trouble with the job. He keeps playing a certain phonograph record again and again and again.
Laura, you've been staring out of that window for an hour.
The view always fascinates me, Mr. Brewster.
Maybe you'd rather be down there among those lights with some younger man. Like the one you asked me to hire?
I'm your secretary, Mr. Brewster. Besides, young men bore me. To be with or to work for.
Well, how lucky for me. I should hate losing you as a secretary.
You will, Mr. Brewster, if you don't stop that phonograph sometime.
Very well. I play that music constantly, Laura, because the orchestra was playing it the night you and I first met. Haven't you any such memories? With Joe Stacy, for instance?
I live in the present, not the past. Mr. Brewster, the warning buzzer. Someone's coming up in the elevator.
Suppose you let them up for me just this once, huh?
I don't know how.
On my desk there.
Yes?
The first button is the intercom to the elevator. Press it. That stops the warning buzzer. Now you can talk to whoever's in the elevator while it's held on the floor below. That intercom box on the left.
Yes. Yes? Who is it?
George Lesage. Mr. Brewster's expecting me.
Oh, yes, Lesage. We're bringing you up. Now what, Mr. Brewster?
The button on the right starts the elevator again to bring him here to the top floor.
I see. Why is that junk dealer coming here?
Because he and I have a little surprise for you. Come in, Lesage.
Evening, Mr. Brewster. Hello, Miss Montpere.
Hello.
Yeah, I brought the latest batch of papers for you, Mr. Brewster.
All in good order?
Yep, ownership papers of 6 total wrecks I bought in from my junkyard. 2 Buicks, a Chevy, a Ford, 2 Pontiacs, all from the West.
Well, all plentiful models and relatively easy to steal. Fine.
As soon as the cars come in, I can turn them over to you and your used car salesman. Say in a week, huh?
Mr. Brewster, I think it's dangerous to mix all those stolen cars with your ordinary used cars in your sales room.
Hey, that's the laugh, Miss Montpere. The smartest cover-up that was ever in this racket. Hot cars cooled off. Okay, Mr. Brewster, that cleans me up here. I'm on my way.
Lesage, instead of your going to the ferry now, you go to your garage and wait there. I'll keep that appointment.
Ah, okay.
Laura, the elevator release button, please.
Good night, Miss Montpere.
Good night.
Good night.
Mr. Brewster, you didn't tell me the surprise you and Lesage had for me.
I've decided to take your childhood friend, Joe Stacy, into my organization. Bring in stolen cars from other cities.
Oh. Oh, then he's the one who's coming in on the ferry. And instead of Lesage, you're going to meet him yourself, is that it?
I'm curious about him, Lauren. An old friend who so fortunately turned out to be an expert car thief and driver. Now tell me, what's the quickest way for me to get to that ferry?
Oh, mister, you got a light?
I think so. Stacy?
Yeah, Lesage.
No. I'm Andrew Brewster.
The boss himself, huh?
You the car?
Second in line.
You were instructed to be first.
A truck cut out in front of me.
I thought you were a former racing driver.
Lay off, Brewster.
Oh, yes. Laura Montclair said you were touchy about having been ruled off the track.
Well, I am.
You'll find we'll get along if you carry out instructions, Stacy.
And if you don't shoot your mouth off.
When you leave the ferry, drive to the garage at 816 East 28th Street. Pick up Lesage. Proceed to his junkyard in New Jersey.
Okay. What's Lesage look like?
Oh, about your height. With an untidy black mustache.
When do I see you again, Brewster?
This will be our only meeting.
Why this one?
Laura talks so highly of you. I wonder why.
Curious, Brewster? Or jealous?
As you so picturesquely put it, Stacy, play off. I'm a trifle touchy myself. Goodbye, Stacy.
Hello?
It's Montclair. The Sage talking. Give me Brewster.
He hasn't returned from his ferry trip.
Listen, I went back to my garage like Brewster told me and found my assistant hired a new guy. And I spotted him for a cop.
What?
I cleared out to make this call. The cop is there now, and you gotta head George Stacy off. Can you do it?
No, I can't. It's too late. He must be at the garage right now.
Come on out of that car.
You, Lesage?
Yeah. Come on out of that car. Come on.
There's your mustache, Lesage.
Never mind that. Come out.
Not a chance, copper. This is for you.
David Harding to Harry Peters. Meet me at airport in exactly half an hour. We're flying to New York. Peters, you saw the message about the murder of Detective Jerry Winters.
Yes, Dave. I didn't know what to make of it.
Read this letter, Peters. Winters' division chief. Teletype it in.
Dear Chief, I'm scribbling this in a hurry in a cheap boarding house since I may not get a chance to write again. I've made a connection that may get me a job in a garage. That's a transfer point for that interstate stolen car racket we're investigating with the Counterspies. I'll know details tonight and will report. Signed, Jerry Winters. When'd you get this, Dave?
This morning, right after the notice from New York of his murder. He must have gotten the job.
Then been covered so closely he couldn't even make a phone call.
Yeah. The New York police are covering every angle they can hit. The first thing we'll do is fine-tooth comb that garage.
Dave, I've been interviewing all the employees of this garage. They all swear that if there was anything crooked going on here, they didn't know a thing about it.
How about the owner?
His name is George Lesage, but they say they rarely see him, and nobody knows where he might be right now. How are you making out?
Well, I've been working with the examination crew. Take a look at this concrete pillar, Peter.
The concrete gouged out about 2 feet up from the floor. Looks as if a car cracked into it.
Yes, one of the employees I talked to earlier said it must have happened during the night.
And how does that help us?
Well, take a look at it through this pocket magnifier.
Flecks of paint. 2 colors.
Benson of the examination crew says some of the flecks are of brown paint over a year old.
And these other flecks of light blue paint with a top coat, a freshly repainted car.
And that's one of the first steps of an efficient hot car outfit, Peters, to give the stolen cars a quick repaint. Somewhere there's a car with a dented fender, brown paint underneath, blue paint over it. I want to put out a fast bulletin and find that car.
Brewster, I'm waiting for you and Lesage to tell me how you're going to help Joe Stacy.
Miss Montclair, Stacy's safe in my junkyard over in Jersey.
Besides, Laura, he sounds like a man who helps himself.
I introduced him to you, Mr. Brewster. He killed a detective to protect your racket. You've got to help him.
On his account?
On yours. And mine.
I wonder if I can afford to have a cop killer in my organization.
What are you getting at?
Lesage, remember what happened to Whitey? Driving along a mountain road, his car went over the side of a cliff. Accidentally. Laura.
I won't help you, Mr. Brewster.
Laura, my dear, Stacy knows and trusts you. You're going to invite him for a ride with Lesage tomorrow. You brought him into our organization. It's only fitting that you help him leave it.
Take it easy. These mountain roads are tricky.
Quit worrying, Lesage.
But you had a few drinks.
Listen, I can drive with my eyes shut.
Maybe, Joe, but I wouldn't like to be with you when you try it. Why don't we pull over for a while?
Anything you say, baby.
What a wonderful view. Doesn't that train look small from up here? Like a toy.
You know, a guy could go over this cliff easy in a car. That wooden rail wouldn't hold a weak flea.
You're some kidder, Joe.
Put up your hands, Lesage.
What is this?
It means you're going to have the accident that you and Brewster cooked up for me.
Lord, you're double-crossing Brewster, and he's stuck on you.
I'm not stuck on him, Lesage. I take his nonsense now so I can take a lot of his money later. All right, Joe.
Listen, give me a chance. Give me a break.
Give it to him, Joe.
No.
Quick, Joe. Put your identification papers in his pocket.
Okay, baby.
Be sure you get everything that identifies him as George Lesage.
Papers. Wristwatch. Wallet. Picture of a kid.
Never mind that. Pour the whiskey over his clothes.
Smell like a saloon.
Hurry, he's coming too. Start the engine. Can you get the car over the cliff alone? I don't want my fingerprints on it.
What about mine?
The more prints there are of you, the surer the police will be it was you that crashed.
Okay, baby. Now you get out.
Be careful, Joe.
Now start her into a skid. I'm good at that. Then jump.
Keep that door open.
Right.
Hurry before another car comes along.
Take it easy, baby.
Jump, Joe!
Coming. Here she goes.
In just a moment, we'll return to Counterspy, brought to you by Pepsi-Cola.
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Lots more value, lots more zest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
More and more, among fellows and girls, among mothers and dads, you hear that sane and sensible question. Why take less when Pepsi's best? No budget, no allowance ever had a better friend than tangy, sparkling Pepsi-Cola. Because one big 12-ounce Pepsi bottle gives you 2 delicious drinks. That's twice as much tangy taste. Twice as much delicious Pepsi to go just twice as far. That's why more and more families say, why take less when Pepsi's best? Yes, families like yours and mine. Families all over America. They're all saying, why take less when Pepsi is best?
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot, tastes terrific when you're hot, more and better than the rest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
Today, tomorrow, always. Get America's biggest cola value. Take home a carton of 6 big Pepsi bottles. Insist on Pepsi at the store and say Pepsi at the fountain. Say Pepsi at the stand. Say Pepsi. Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
why take less when Pepsi's best?
Now, back to Counterspy.
Routine report to Statistical Department, Washington. Received from State Police, New Jersey at Counterspy, New York field office. Fatal car crash off Highway 6A. Car identified as having been stolen 4 days ago in Baltimore, Maryland. Relay this bulletin to David Harding, now in New York. File copy of instructions. Harding to Peters. Check on that stolen car in Highway 6A accident. Peters reporting to Harding. Wreck almost complete, but left fender shows dent corresponding to gash and concrete pillar in Lesage garage. Undercoat of paint brown. Outer coat blue. Victim tentatively identified from fingerprints on car and papers as one Joe Stacy. Fingerprints forwarded to Washington.
Still interested in the bright lights down there, Laura?
There's a ghost dancing among them now, Mr. Brewster.
I know it was difficult for you, Laura. But it was Stacy or me. I had no choice.
Neither did I. As you've so often said yourself, we're in a tough racket, aren't we?
Dave, Washington reported yet on Joe Stacy?
Yes, but the fingerprints on the body in that smashed car were not those of Joe Stacy.
Who then?
George Lesage.
Lesage? Well, that's the man we were looking for. He owned the garage where Detective Winters was murdered.
That's right, murdered by Joe Stacy.
Stacy, how do you figure?
Well, somebody took a great deal of trouble to make us think Stacy was dead, and that would suit Stacy very well. Besides, look at his record.
Racing driver ruled off the tracks for dangerous and crooked driving. Hold-up charge, suspended sentence, assaulting an officer 30 days. Bad boy.
Yes, but it's hardly probable a hothead like Stacy is the boss of the entire racket, nor that Lesage was. We're looking for the top man, Peters, and Stacy might lead you to him.
Lead me to him?
You're going undercover, Peters, to locate Stacy. Then we can set a trap.
Joe, I'm worried.
Well, what about, baby?
I don't think it's safe for us to meet in such a public place.
I got this tablet in my pocket. Besides, this new mustache is sprouting. And the papers are full of pictures of the wreck. I got killed 2 days ago, remember?
Joe Brewster will be wanting to see Lesage soon, and then there are the other men.
Hey, Bud.
Yeah, Marty.
Pete Williams in the back on. He says you expect it.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks, Marty.
Joe. Who's Pete Williams?
Well, he's the guy I met last night right here. At the bar, he started shooting off his mouth about racing drivers. We got in a little argument. It turns out to be an all right guy. He's in the same racket.
You sure he's all right?
Yeah, he knows a lot of the same people I do out in KC. You go on over to Bruce's apartment, baby. I'll call you later, huh?
Okay. So long, honey.
Hello, Pete. What goes?
I got a tip for a guy.
What guy?
Guy named Joe Stacy.
Joe Stacy's dead. I read it in the papers.
If he isn't already, maybe he's going to be.
What's the tip?
The finger's getting put on him.
By?
His boss.
For what?
Tip I got says the boss already figured out it wasn't Joe Stacy in that wreck, but a bird named George Lesage. He figures it was Stacy that did it.
How do you know?
That boss has been trying to contact a couple of triggermen from Chicago.
Why are you telling me?
I hate hot tips to go to waste.
Where can I reach you later? Say in about an hour.
Tell me where you want me to be.
What's the matter with here?
What do you do, phone me?
I'll come back and get you. Keep sober, Pete.
Sure.
Hello, honey, it's Joe. Listen, you were right to be leery of that guy Pete Williams who tried to caper on me.
What caper?
Well, he tells me Brewster caught onto the wreck business. He's out hiring guys to take care of me. What a jerk, huh?
Jerk? How do you figure?
Well, honey, if Brewster caught on already, you'd know about it, wouldn't you? Well, wouldn't you?
I've been thinking, Joe. I've got a scheme for us to get rid of Brewster, get some dough, and take care of your friend Pete. Tonight, all at once.
Dave, Peters, I've landed Stacy.
Good work. Did he reveal who the boss is?
No, but he's pulling me in on his scheme of revenge on the boss. We're going to hold him up. Then Stacy plans to kill him.
Well, I'll be close behind you with one of our mobile squads. We'll break it up in time.
Well, it may not be easy, Dave. The boss lives in a penthouse and has some tricky system to control the elevator. Stacy's girlfriend is going to double-cross the boss and let us in.
Then you'll have to find some way of letting us in. When's the job set for?
11 o'clock tonight.
What time was that, Mr. Brewster?
11. You seem restless, Laura. Bored with your job?
Mr. Brewster, believe me, I was never less bored with it.
Someone's in the elevator. I'm not expecting anyone. I'll find out who it is.
Brewster, stay away from that intercom.
Laura, what's the meaning of that gun?
Push the power button.
Laura...
Push that power button.
As you say.
Sit down by the desk.
Laura, what is the meaning of this?
Shut up!
Hello, Brewster.
Stacy.
In the flesh.
I thought you were dead. Laura told
Cut
me.
the act, Brewster. I know about the hood you were trying to get to rub me out.
Rub you out? I tell you, I thought you were dead.
You're lying, Brewster.
Stacy, who is this other man?
Pete Williams. The guy who put the finger on you for putting the finger on me.
Oh, this man is tricking you, I swear.
Listen, Brewster.
Wait. Maybe Brewster's telling the truth. Maybe Pete is. That's what we're going to find out. Meantime, I'm holding the gun. Pete.
Yeah?
In the right-hand drawer of the desk, the combination of the safe.
Okay.
Safe?
Yeah, Brewster, we're taking a little trip. Joe's staying here.
Laura, you can't leave me for this cheap thug.
Quiet.
All right, here's the combination.
Take it, Joe. Open the safe.
Where is it?
Behind that picture over there on the wall.
Okay.
Now I can turn that music off for good.
Laura, what's that?
The buzzer. Someone's in the elevator.
Look out, Brewster's going for the buzzer.
Pete, I gotta shoot. Get out of the way.
I'll get him.
Too late. He's pushed it. The elevator's coming up.
Laura, how do we get out?
Back exit to the roof. Come on, Pete, you too.
Now, don't be suckers and run. How do you know who it is?
What?
He's right, Joe. We'll play innocent. Whoever it is, we invite him. And we put him to sleep.
Good girl. Put away your gun, Laura.
Here. You, Joe, get by the elevator.
Right. Now, hold everything.
There's nobody in the elevator.
It's a trick.
Hold everything, all of you. Counterspy. Don't move or we shoot.
What?
All right, boys. Cover every door and window. Okay, boys. All right, Peter?
Yes, Mr. Harding. But I wish I'd known you were coming in from the terrace.
Looks like a good haul you made. this is Joe Stacy, murderer. About ready to have a stroke. You lousy cheat.
Joe, shut up.
And this, I take it, is the girlfriend.
Not yours, copper. Take your hands off me.
Gladly, after I get these handcuffs on you. Here, out cold behind the desk, Mr. Harding, the big fish. Andrew Brewster. Used car dealer and hot car racketeer. Peter, he looks so peaceful, I almost hate to wake him up and give him all the bad news he's got coming to him. But on second thought, I think it'll be a real pleasure. Let's get to it, Peter.
When your friends drop in, be generous, but be thrifty, too. Serve plenty of delicious Pepsi-Cola. Pepsi's big 12-ounce bottle gives you not just one sparkling glassful, but two. Get a carton of 6 and serve 12 delicious drinks. Yes, Pepsi is America's biggest cola value. You get twice the tangy taste, twice the refreshment, twice the Pepsi. So why take less when Pepsi is best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Lots more value, lots more zest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
Tune in every Tuesday and Thursday, same time, same station, to Counterspy. Listen next Tuesday for the exciting Counterspy case of the Postal Pirates.
The little black box that caught the revolver in midair. The one-fingered typist who punctuated sentences with bullets. And the double-crosser who tasted her own medicine and died as a result.
Case of the Postal Pirates on Counterspy. Tonight's Counterspy program originated in New York, was directed by William M. Sweets, and featured Don McLaughlin and Mandel Kramer, with music by Jesse Crawford. Counterspy is a Phillips H. Lord production for Pepsi-Cola. Enjoy some Pepsi ice cold tonight. Pepsi-Cola, P-E-P-S-I, that's your smartest cola buy. Pepsi-Cola presents Counterspy.
Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy. Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy.
Harding, Counterspy, calling Washington.
United States Counterspies, especially appointed to investigate and combat the enemies of our country, both at home and abroad.
Tonight, the case of the Postal Pirates. Another Counterspy report to the American people. Brought to you each Tuesday and Thursday by Pepsi-Cola.
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot.
That's right, you heard what they said. 2 full glasses of sparkling Pepsi from one big 12-ounce bottle. You're getting an extra glassful. And what a delicious glassful. The most refreshing, delightful cola that ever tickled your taste. You can't top Pepsi's tangy flavor. And that big bottle saves you money, goes twice as far. Pepsi is America's big favorite. And America's biggest cola value. So why take less when Pepsi is best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
Why take less when Pepsi's best?
And now, to Counterspy. In one of New York City's larger post office branches, it is mid-afternoon and fairly quiet. Then, through the street door, comes a remarkably pretty girl of perhaps 27. Her eyes are surprisingly cold and searching, until they reach window number 5.
What'll it be, miss? Oh, hello.
Hello, handsome. 103.
5 days in a row, 100 3-cent stamps. So you do a lot of mailing.
I've got a lot of friends.
I'll bet.
Mm-hmm.
And, I can see the reason why.
Oh, I didn't know postal clerks could make such pretty speeches.
Oh, there are a lot of other things we can do, too.
That why they keep you locked up in a cage?
Well, if you'd like to find out, they let us out at 5.
Feeding time for the animals?
Oh, you might say.
Well, I always did like animals, especially big, burly ones.
Well, this one feeds at the Shamrock across the street from here.
Oh, there?
Mm-hmm.
That looks like a place where they feed the animals. Okay, I'll pick you up here at 5.
Here's the last of the dishes, baby.
Put them in the sink. We'll let them soak.
All right.
No, isn't my apartment, even with the dishes, better than a public restaurant?
Baby, I even love the dishes. And now that we've wined and dined, how about a name? Not that I'd object to calling you baby permanently.
I was wondering when you'd ask. It's Kathy.
It's nice. Goes good with mine, Jimmy.
Is that all? No more questions?
Well, my mother taught me never to look a gift horse in the mouth.
Horse? Well, I'm not sure I like that. Jimmy.
Yeah.
Come here.
Well?
You know, post office isn't only work. It's a game, too.
Yeah, I've played it. Goes something like this, doesn't it?
Oh, don't crush. I'm fragile.
Oh, who reads labels? It's a waste of time.
You know, I might have a husband.
What do you do? He's a chump to let you out of his sight.
He's a chump.
Oh, you have one?
Oh, only on paper. We're separated. He pays the bills and prays for an excuse to divorce me.
You trying to give him one?
Don't be silly. I said he pays the bills. Are you, bothered?
Yeah, a little. It marks you handled with care.
I thought you said you didn't read labels. Try closing your eyes.
That's an idea. Come here.
Oh, remember, it's fragile. Oh, Jimmy. Oh.
My. What a pretty picture.
Oh, Nick! What's the idea of busting in here?
Well, me and Frank just got a lovely snapshot for my album. You got it all right, didn't you, Frank?
Right here from the doorway with my trusty camera.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what is this?
Evidence, big boy. That's why I brought my boy Frank and his camera along. Been waiting a long time for my darling wife, Kathy, to step out of line.
Nick, you got this all wrong. I just met him today.
Fast worker. And if I got it wrong, the camera hasn't. Right, Frank?
A perfect shot.
You're Kathy's husband?
Sure. I'm not sore. You done me a favor.
Well, you're not going to pull a stunt like this on her. Take your hands off me. Let go. Take it easy, mister. I make 2 of you.
Yeah? Then this'll cut you down to size, big boy.
Jimmy, look out! A gun! Get it away from him!
Okay, Nick. Now I got the gun. Now get out of here.
You kidding? What you took, I can take back.
Oh! What? Nick's dead, Jimmy.
Holy mackerel.
Dead?
You're a little late dropping the gun, big boy.
But how could... I didn't mean...
It's done. He's dead.
Oh, we'll have to call the police.
Jimmy, don't be a fool. If Nick's body is found here, what do you think this mess will look like to the cops?
It was an accident.
The cops will love that one.
Listen, Jimmy. Nick taught me a lot of things besides what a heel he was. Nick was in the rackets.
In the rackets?
Yeah, kid. He had a lot of enemies. If he's found beside a road, nobody will ask twice who did it.
What are you figuring, Frank? That this sets you up to take over Nick's racket?
Yeah. I can get hold of a couple of boys to help me get rid of Nick, and then we'll all keep quiet. I slip into Nick's spot, you two are in the clear. How do you like it, Kathy?
Okay, Frank.
But, Kathy, it's an awful chance.
Look, Jimmy, look, I like your style, and I don't want you wasting it in some jail cell while I'm around. You beat it now and let Frank take care of things. You stay away from me until I call you home. And that won't be long, honey. That won't be long.
Hello?
Jimmy? Kathy?
Kathy, I've been staying home every night. I thought you'd never call. What happened? Did Frank?
He said it's all right, but he wants to see you. Half an hour, in front of the Shamrock.
This is David Harding. To Counterspy agents in Chicago, Detroit, Philadelphia, and Boston. Continue investigation parcel post theft ring. Take no action, make no arrests, but lay plans to close in on known members of ring at a moment's notice. Special attention, Boston field office. Have Harry Peters telephone me as soon as possible.
Okay, Frank, what did you want to see me for? Where are we driving? Everything's all right, isn't it?
For me, Jimmy, yeah. For you, only maybe.
Maybe?
Depends on how you play ball.
What are you driving at?
Photograph I took. Not of you and Kathy, but of you and Nick.
Nick? Well, what does it show?
Take a look.
It looks like I killed him deliberately.
I cut it perfect. With Nick on the floor and you over him holding the gun. If that picture should show up when Nick is found, boy, oh brother.
What do you want? Money?
I'm a postal clerk.
Then what do you want?
I took over Nick's racket. A racket that's worked in the post office.
The post office?
Yeah. Nick had guys in post offices stealing valuable packages.
What, just walking out with them?
No. After people insure their packages, our guys relabel them. Send them to a special address.
That's what you want me to do?
Let's say this photo wants you to do it. And, of course, Kathy. She don't want to get mixed up in no murder rap.
Kathy?
Bumpkin?
All right, Frank. I guess there's nothing else I can do.
United States Counterspy, Washington headquarters. Oh, yes, Mr. Peters. Will you hold on just a moment? Attention, Statistical Department. If Mr. David Harding is there, will he please take a rush phone call on extension 61 from Mr. Harry Peters, extension 61.
Hello, Peters. I've been waiting to hear from you. How's it going in Boston?
Pretty well, Dave. We've got a line on all the small fry here. We're ready to pick them up on a moment's notice.
That's good. I've got the same reports from Chicago, Detroit, and Philadelphia. But what's bad is the racket started in New York, too.
Oh, great.
As nearly as I can make out, this parcel post theft ring has been in operation about 3 months. They've stolen over $1 million in merchandise already. We pick up the small fry and the big shots just start over again.
I agree, Dave.
I'm going up to New York. I want you to meet me there. We'll take up the investigation together.
Fine. When?
Tomorrow. And you can spend the time in between reading postal regulations.
I know them backwards already, Dave.
Good. I'll have something else for you. Your credentials as Harry Gordon, postal clerk.
Jimmy.
Yeah, what
now, Harry?
My daily stamp reports and registration book. Will you check them to see if they're right?
Well, after 3 weeks, you ought to know yourself.
I'd just like to make
That's
sure.
my luck, always getting stuck with substitutes.
Guy's got to make a living.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, Harry. Let's see.
This post office work isn't so good for a guy's disposition.
Forget it. I got trouble. Yeah, your books are okay.
Thanks.
Customer at your window.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, mister?
I'd like to have this package insured, please.
For how much?
Well, they're nylon stockings. You better make it $150.
Okay.
How are you doing, Peter?
Okay so far, Dad.
Penny Arcade, 42nd Street and 8th Avenue at 6 o'clock tomorrow.
There you are, mister. Your receipt.
Will it get there all right?
Sure. Be right on time. Don't worry about it. Nice shooting, mister.
Like to try a load yourself?
Pinball's my speed. The other side of the arcade. Come on and watch.
Okay.
Any news on Jimmy Morrison, Dave?
We traced the package I mailed that Jimmy Morrison relabeled. It went to 428 Front Street, a warehouse.
A warehouse?
Maybe the central warehouse for the whole racket. Well, there's your pinball machine.
Watch me, boy.
One thing more. We picked up another outside contact. Your man, Jimmy Morrison, frequently meets a blonde bombshell.
46,000.
Yeah.
Blonde bombshell. Want me to follow that?
She may be the big shot we're looking for. Not so good that time.
Just watch this one.
Morrison has lunch with the blonde in the main dining room of the Shamrock every day.
Okay, I'll catch him tomorrow. At the Shamrock.
Kathy, I tell you, we can't keep it up.
Look, Jimmy, we have to.
Besides, don't you like spending the extra dough on me?
Oh, honey, if it wasn't for you. Why did Nick have
Forget that name,
He
Jimmy.
could have gotten that divorce, then we could have...
What's the matter?
The guy coming toward us.
What?
Harry Gordon, he works with me at the post office.
Oh.
Hello, Jimmy. I almost missed you way over here in the corner.
Hi, Harry.
Well?
Well, what?
No knockdown?
This is Kathy Thomas.
Hi.
Hello.
Mind if I join you? Thanks.
What's on your mind, Harry? You want me to check your books again?
No. In fact, this is kind of private.
Jimmy's got no secrets from me.
Oh, like that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This might be embarrassing.
I'm blushing. Speak your piece.
What is it, Harry?
Okay. Here it is in 3 little words. I want in.
Is that a riddle?
Let's cut the sparring, Jimmy. I got eyes and you got careless sometimes.
Look, I don't...
Wait a minute, Jimmy. Go on, Harry. Let's hear you spiel.
Okay, sister. Your boyfriend here's been making funny with the post office. Packages come in from dress goods houses, jewelers, appliance dealers, and what have you. Junior here gets them, relabels them, and 5 will get you 10. They wind up where they shouldn't.
You've got an awful big nose. Things could happen to it.
Easy, Jimmy, easy. He's a bright boy. Harry, I suppose you could do what Jimmy's doing.
I take it I'm in.
Yes, if you have to be told.
Kathy.
It's all right, Jimmy.
Harry, we'll get in touch with you.
Don't keep me waiting. I'm impatient.
In a day or two. No, we'd like to have our dinner.
Sure thing. Goodbye, Miss Thomas. Jimmy, my apologies. I had you figured about 5 sizes too big. So long.
Kathy, I don't like it. You declared him in.
Yeah, I did, but Frank has the final word.
You think Frank will turn him down?
He might. And in that case, I wouldn't want to be in Harry Gordon's shoes.
In just a moment, we'll return to Counterspy, brought to you by Pepsi-Cola.
Pepsi-Cola, it's a spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Lots more value, lots more zest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
More and more, among fellows and girls, among mothers and dads, you hear that sane and sensible question, why take less when Pepsi's best? No budget, no allowance, ever had a better friend than tangy, sparkling Pepsi-Cola. Because one big 12-ounce Pepsi bottle gives you 2 delicious drinks. That's twice as much tangy taste, twice as much delicious Pepsi to go just twice as far. That's why more and more families say, why take less when Pepsi's best? Yes, families like yours and mine, families all over America, they're all saying, why take less when Pepsi's best?
Pepsi-Cola, it's a spot. Tastes terrific when you're hot. More and better than the rest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
Today, tomorrow, always. Get America's biggest cola value. Take home a carton of 6 big Pepsi bottles. Insist on Pepsi at the store. And say Pepsi at the fountain. Say Pepsi at the stand. Say Pepsi. Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
why take less when Pepsi's best?
And now, back to Counterspy. It's just after 5 p.m. in Midtown, New York. From a tall marble building, Peters, alias Harry Gordon, postal clerk, emerges to join the homeward-bound throng. A man sidles up to him.
Hello, Harry.
What? Who are you?
Guy you wanted to see. Kathy told me.
Oh. Fast work.
I've got my car. We'll go for a drive. That way, conversation's private. Come on. Okay, Harry, stay on the West Side Highway now.
Swell car. Handles nice.
Yeah, I know. I like to drive. Except in city traffic.
That's why you wanted me to take the wheel?
One reason.
And the other?
You're a bright boy, Harry.
Thanks.
Yeah, the kind of a guy we'd like to have. If we were taking on new guys.
You're not?
We don't like volunteers. We like to pick out our own boys and hold them to us good and tight.
I stick like glue with this dough.
Glue melts. We prefer something more solid. Now, you might be a right guy.
Thanks.
Or a stoolie.
I can't sing a note.
Maybe even a cop.
I haven't got flat feet.
Maybe, but we never take chances. Hey, slow down, will you? You're going too fast.
I like speed.
Now, don't get cute and try to get a cop on our tail.
Out of power in this motor.
Slow down, I'll blast your head off.
I thought you'd show a rod sooner or later.
Okay, I showed it. Now, slow down.
What for? Right now, this is the safest way I can drive.
You crazy fool, look out!
Close, huh?
You don't slow down, I'll...
Shoot? Then what happens to us both? The needle's pushing 70. 75. 80.
You'll kill us both.
That's better than you killing me. Look at the needle. 85.
It's the car! Okay, you win. You win. Only slow down.
Toss the gun on the floorboard.
Okay.
Now, slow it. Turn out all your pockets and open the jacket wide. I don't want you to crack. Yeah, sure. I ain't got another gap. Hey, a police siren a block behind. Cops, now we are in the stew.
Maybe. That's a good boy. No more guns.
Okay, bright boy, we stop, but what are you going to do about those cops coming?
We'll see, tough guy. Get out.
What is this? Only one plainclothes guy in that patrol car.
Peters, I've been tailing you since you got into this car. What a race you staged.
He pulled a gun on me, Chief. The only way I could make him drop it was to speed up.
Chief? Who are you guys?
Counterspies.
Sorry it turned out this way, Dave. It practically tips our hand.
I'd rather have our hand tipped than you dead. We'll move in right away. We'll hand this fellow over to the police and then go right down to pick up Jimmy and the girl.
Jimmy's not here.
Yeah. Looks as if he left in a hurry.
He can't possibly know about the chase. Hey, Peters.
What's the matter?
This magazine opened to page 7.
And those true crime story magazines.
Open to an article about the capture of Professor Horn.
The case we handled, Dave. Jimmy Morrison evidently been reading up on criminals.
More than that, Peters. Here's a photograph taken at police headquarters that time. And there you are in the background.
What? Hey, lucky my name isn't given in the caption.
Still, this picture's enough to tell Jimmy Morrison you're not the postal clerk you pretended to be. It's a cinch he saw this and lit out.
He'll head for the girl first. He's soft on her.
We'll go to her place then. If she's not there, then we go to the warehouse on Front Street, where the gang's been forwarding its loot.
This is David Harding. Attention counter-spy agents, Boston, Chicago, Detroit, and Philadelphia. Circumstances force us to move now in postal theft investigation. Carry out all raids according to plan. Pick up all members of the ring you can lay your hands on. We will conduct raid on main warehouse here in New York. Act on this order immediately.
Kathy.
Jimmy, I thought Frank told you never come near this warehouse.
Forget Frank. We got to get out of here.
What are you talking about?
That guy, Harry Gordon, he's really a counterspy.
Counterspy?
I saw his picture in a magazine.
Oh.
Come on, Kathy. We haven't got any time to lose. Maybe...
Happy, Red Blood.
Oh.
Nick.
What goes, Kathy?
Counterspies. Jimmy says they're onto us.
What?
Nick, I thought I'd killed you.
Forget it, Jimmy. We're all in a jam now together.
A frame-up.
Look, Jimmy.
You jockeyed me into it.
Yeah, kid. And you're staying in.
Nick, forget the gun. We've got to stick together.
That one loaded with blanks, too, Nick?
Try it and see, kid.
Stop it. The counterspies will be right outside this minute.
Well, I'm putting it together, Kathy. At that time you telephoned me, I never gave you my number.
So you didn't.
You didn't even know my last name, man.
That's right. It was a frame. Nick played dead, so you'd be forced into this setup.
Your post office is in a nice district. Good merchandise.
There, you got it all.
But the funny thing is, Kathy, you didn't have to frame me. I'd have done anything you wanted me to. But I'm not doing anything more.
Jimmy, we've got to get away from here. The three of us are in this now.
Wrong edition, baby.
Huh?
Just two. You two.
What?
Get over there. Both of you.
He's crossing us, Jimmy, you and me.
How does it feel, Kathy?
Don't be a sap. Do something.
All Jimmy's going to do is die. Now stand there. I got a letter to type, and I'm strictly a one-finger guy. And I don't want to use it on the trigger. Yet.
All of our agents stay count around the warehouse, Peter?
Yes, Dave, and we're in luck.
Oh, how?
Conway tells me Jimmy Morrison went into the warehouse just a little while ago.
Good. Maybe a meeting of the brains of the mob.
What's that?
Shots from inside the warehouse. Let's go. You men cover the main floor of the warehouse. Peters and I'll take the office upstairs.
Peters. Holy. Jimmy Morrison and that girl.
Maybe they're still alive. No, she's not.
Jimmy Morrison's gone, too. Here's a note, Dave.
Note?
Typed and signed by Jimmy Morrison. Listen. Kathy was no good. She was poison and poisoned me. She really ran this whole package-stealing racket and tricked me into it. There's no chance of getting away. I don't want to, and I won't let her, so I'm going to help her escape the only way she can, by taking her with me. Jimmy Morrison.
Well,
it looks as if the girl was the big shot, Dave. Murder and suicide. Just winds up the case nice and neat.
Looks like it, Peters. Not. Wait a minute. The boy's holding the gun.
Well, he was the suicide, according to the note.
Well, the note may say so, but the evidence does not. This was no suicide, Peters. It was murder. Double murder.
Back to David Harding in a moment. But first, when your friends drop in, be generous, but be thrifty, too. Serve plenty of delicious Pepsi-Cola. Pepsi's big 12-ounce bottle gives you not just one sparkling glassful, but two. Get a carton of 6 and serve 12 delicious drinks. Yes, Pepsi is America's biggest cola value. You get twice the tangy taste, twice the refreshment, twice the Pepsi. So why take less when Pepsi is best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
Pepsi-Cola, hits the spot, 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Lot more value, lot more zest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
This is David Harding. The deaths of Jimmy Morrison and Kathy Thomas, plus the simultaneous raids we made in Boston, Chicago, Detroit, and Philadelphia, would have ended our investigation of the parcel post theft ring, except for one small mistake. A mistake that turned an apparent suicide into murder. A mistake that led us straight to the criminal boss who tried to buy life insurance with death. For the exciting conclusion of this case, I invite you to listen Thursday night.
Case of the Postal Pirates, File 2 on Counterspy. Tonight's Counterspy program originated in New York, was directed by Leonard L. Bass, dramatized by Palmer Thompson, and featured Don McLaughlin and Mandel Kramer with music by Jesse Crawford. Counterspy is a Phillips H. Lord production for Pepsi-Cola. Enjoy some Pepsi, ice cold tonight. Pepsi-Cola, P-E-P-S-I, that's your smartest cola buy. Pepsi-Cola presents Counterspy.
Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy. Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy.
Harding, Counterspy. Calling Washington.
United States Counterspy, especially appointed to investigate and combat the enemies of our country, both at home and abroad.
Tonight, more in the case of the Postal Pirates. Another Counterspy report to the American people. Brought to you each Tuesday and Thursday by Pepsi-Cola.
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot.
That's right, you heard what they said. 2 full glasses of sparkling Pepsi from one big 12-ounce bottle. You're getting an extra glassful. And what a delicious glassful. The most refreshing, delightful cola that ever tickled your taste. You can't top Pepsi's tangy flavor. And that big, big bottle saves you money. Goes twice as far. Pepsi's America's big, big favorite. And America's biggest cola value. So why take less when Pepsi's best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
why take less when Pepsi's best?
And now, to Counterspy. For weeks, David Harding has been on the trail of $1 million syndicate of thieves stealing packages from post offices in a number of eastern cities. Harry Peters, assistant to Mr. Harding, went undercover as a dishonest postal clerk named Harry Gordon and has made contact with one of the big shots of this racket, Frank Garrett. The 2 men are now driving in Garrett's car with Peters, alias Harry Gordon, at the wheel.
Okay, Harry, stay on the West Side Highway now.
Swell car. Handles nice.
Yeah, I know. I like to drive. Except in city traffic.
That why you wanted me to take the wheel?
One reason.
And the other?
You're a bright boy, Harry.
Thanks.
Yeah, the kind of a guy we'd like to have if we were taking on new guys.
You're not?
We don't like volunteers. We like to pick out our own boys and hold them to us good and tight.
I stick like glue where there's dough.
Glue melts. We prefer something more solid. Now, you might be a right guy.
Thanks.
Or a stoolie.
I can't sing a note.
Maybe even a cop.
I haven't got flat feet.
Maybe, but we never take chances. Hey, slow down, will you? You're going too fast.
I like speed.
Now, don't get cute and try to get a cop on our tail.
A lot of power in this motor.
Slow down, I'll blast your head off.
I thought you'd show a rod sooner or later.
Okay, I showed it. Now slow down.
What for? Right now, this is the safest way I can drive.
You crazy fool, look out!
Close, huh?
You don't slow down, I'll...
Shoot? Then what happens to us both? The needle's pushing 70.
plainclothes guy in that patrol car.
Peters, I've been tailing you ever since you got into this car. What a race you stayed.
He pulled a gun on me, Chief. The only way I could make him drop it was to speed up.
Chief? Who are you guys?
Counterspies. Sorry it turned out this way, Mr. Harding. It practically tips our hand.
Well, I'd rather have our hand tipped than you dead. But come on, we're in a hurry.
What about Garrett here?
We'll turn him over to one of the other cars. Let's get going.
There's the signal, Dave. You can go ahead.
This is David Harding, calling from New York. Attention Counterspy agents, Boston, Chicago, Detroit, and Philadelphia. Circumstances force us to move in immediately on postal theft investigation. Carry out all raids according to plan. Pick up all members of the ring you can lay your hands on. We will conduct raid on main warehouse of the gang here in New York. Act on this order immediately. Agents staked out around the warehouse, Peter?
Yes, David, we're in luck.
Oh, how?
Conway tells me that Jimmy Morrison, the crooked postal clerk I've been keeping tabs on, went into the warehouse just a while ago.
Good. Maybe a meeting of the brains of...
What was that?
Shots from inside the warehouse. Let's go. You men cover the main floor of the warehouse. Peters and I'll take the office upstairs. Peter, look at that.
Holy. Jimmy Morrison and that girl.
Maybe they're still alive. No. She's not.
Jimmy Morrison's gone, too. Here's a note.
Note.
Signed by Jimmy Morrison. Listen, Kathy was no good. She was poison and poisoned me. She ran this whole package-stealing racket and tricked me into it. There's no chance of getting away. I don't want to, and I won't let her, so I'm going to help her escape the only way she can, by taking her with me. Jimmy Morrison. Looks as if this girl, Kathy, was the big shot, Dave. Murder and suicide. This winds up the case nice and neat.
Looks like it, Peters. Now, wait a minute. The boy's holding the gun.
Well, he was the suicide, according to the note.
This was no suicide, Peters. It was murder. Double murder. The killer may still be in the building.
What?
Alert the squad. Have them go through this warehouse from top to bottom, fast. And that thug who tried to take you for a ride, Frank Garrett, get him up here. I want to talk to him now.
Come on, Garrett. You can climb stairs faster than that.
Okay, copper, don't shout.
Keep moving.
Yeah, sure.
All right, Peters. I'll take care of Garrett. You take charge of the rest of the squad. Report to me on what you find.
Right, Dave.
What's this all about, Mr. Harding?
You wouldn't know?
No.
Okay, let's go into this office. Maybe we can find the answer in there. Start moving, Garrett.
Holy smoke.
It's a pretty picture, isn't it? You know them, Garrett? The young man and the girl?
Yeah,
Yeah is a good enough answer. Maybe you'd like to read this note.
Note?
Go on, help yourself. We found it in this room. Found something else, too.
This kid killed her? Who'd have thought a punk like that
could kill? Maybe the person who took this photograph.
Photograph?
I found it lying right here on the desk. A photograph of Jimmy Morrison murdering a man. Take a look at it.
Yeah, no, what?
Who's the other man in the photograph?
I don't know.
Come on, Garrett, make it easy on yourself. This photo was a wonderful club to hold over young Morrison's head. That's probably how you forced him into this parcel post racket. Wasn't it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Come on, Garrett. Who's the dead man in the picture?
I told you I don't know.
Don't make me
Mr.
laugh.
Harding, you read the note. Like it says, that dame Kathy was the big boss in this racket. Okay, she's dead. He killed himself. That winds it up. What more do you want?
I want the person who killed the girl and Morrison.
The note.
The note was planted to mislead us. Look at Morrison. He's holding the gun in his hand.
Well, sure, he shot himself.
If he did, there'd be powder burns around the wound in his head. But it's a clean wound. That means he was shot from a slight distance by someone else.
Look, I got nothing to do with it. You had your mitts on me when those shots were fired.
Right. But you know who that someone else was.
I don't know nothing. I ain't saying nothing. You're bright. Figure things out for yourself.
Okay, maybe I will.
No good, Dave. The boys have been through the whole warehouse.
Whoever the murderer was, he got away through an abandoned sewer outlet we found in the cellar.
I expected that, Peters.
What about Frank here?
He doesn't want to talk at the moment.
Maybe we can change his mind.
Maybe. In the meantime, get our fingerprint and photographic details. Go over this office, Peters. We're not closing this case till we've caught a double murderer.
Dave, the report on that picture of Jimmy Morrison shooting a man just came in from Washington.
Any result, Peters?
Yes. The man on the floor is Nick Bodie, alias this, that, and the other. Here's the Rogues Gallery wire photo they sent.
Well, that matches this picture we found in the warehouse, all right.
And according to that picture, Bodie's dead. Unless you figure the photograph for a frame-up.
That's just what I do. There had to be a photographer. Everything all set up. The way I reconstruct it, she and Bodie framed the situation, a fight, so that Morrison could be tricked into this picture.
Yeah, but to convince her... Look at it. Morrison holding a gun. Bodie falling to the floor. Bodie might really be dead.
That's possible, but this picture was too easy for us to find, too convenient, right in the top drawer of the desk.
You think he wanted us to look for a dead body instead of a live one?
Yes. And far from being a murder victim, he's a double murderer. Send for Frank Garrett. We'll have another crack at questioning him about Nick. If he still won't talk, maybe we can use him as bait for our two-time killer.
Postal Pirates Incorporated, good morning. Mr. Richardson, I'm sorry he's busy. Will you call back later, please? Can I help you, sir?
I want to see Mr. Richardson.
Who shall I say is calling?
Just Nick, Postal Sales.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Richardson will see salesmen on Tuesdays and Thursdays only.
Beautiful. You give him my name, and if he says that too, I'll go away.
Just a minute. Mr. Richardson, Nick of Postal Sales to see you. Oh, yes, sir. Go right in, sir. That door.
Thanks, beautiful.
Hello, Nick. Come in.
Surprised to see me, Richie?
What are you doing here, you fool?
No. Is that any way to greet a partner, Richie?
Every time the phone rings, I've been expecting counterspies. Now you're crazy enough to walk in.
I knew you'd be worried, Richie. I wanted to ease your mind.
Or leave the counterspies to me.
Now, why would I do that? Where else would I find such a good partner for selling my goods?
Selling? You're not thinking of keeping up this racket.
Why not? There's still more millions in it.
Not with me, Nick. You can find somebody else.
But not with a setup like yours. You buy merchandise for about 2,000 stores throughout the country. We spread the stolen goods that thin, there's not a chance of tracing it. Nick, you read the papers. Counterspies figure they've broken up the parcel post ring. Even tabbed Kathy Thomas for the boss. She's dead. What better setup do you want?
What about Frank Garrett? They've still got him under arrest. You think he'll talk?
Frank will keep his mouth shut as long as we do right by him.
We? He doesn't know about me, does he?
No. I don't leave you out. Because if he talks about me, I talk about you.
What'll we do, Nick? We've got to stop him.
Now, take it easy, Richie. You're going to bail him out.
Oh, no. I don't want to get into the picture.
You won't. Just be ready with the dough. I know a guy who'll handle the whole thing.
In just a moment, we'll return to Counterspy. Brought to you by Pepsi-Cola.
Pepsi-Cola, it's a spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Lots more value, lots more zest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
More and more among fellows and girls, among mothers and dads, you hear that sane and sensible question, why take less when Pepsi is best? No budget, no allowance ever had a better friend than tangy, sparkling Pepsi-Cola. Because one big 12-ounce Pepsi bottle gives you 2 delicious drinks. That's twice as much tangy taste, twice as much delicious Pepsi, to go just twice as far. That's why more and more families say, why take less when Pepsi's best? Yes, families like yours and mine, families all over America, they're all saying, why take less when Pepsi's best?
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot, tastes terrific when you're hot, more and better than the rest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
Today, tomorrow, always. Get America's biggest cola value. Take home a carton of 6 big Pepsi bottles. Insist on Pepsi at the store. And say Pepsi at the fountain. Say Pepsi at the stand. Say Pepsi. Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
why take less when Pepsi's best?
And now, back to Counterspy. In the Counterspy field office in New York, David Harding and his assistant, Harry Peters, are again questioning the prisoner, Frank Garrett.
Now, Garrett, I showed you this photograph once before.
Yeah.
It shows Morrison, gun in hand, standing beside a man's body on the floor.
Yeah, I see.
We know now that the man on the floor is or was named Nick Bodie. You know him?
No.
You know if he was head of the parcel post racket? See who that is, Peter?
Right.
What's the answer, Garrett?
Look, Mr. Harding, for the last time, I don't know nothing about nothing. In fact, I'm the most ignorant guy you ever arrested. So why don't you call it quits and let me go back to my cell?
You won't have to, Garrett.
What is it, Peter?
A lawyer named Carver has just posted bail for Garrett.
Well, now the conversation is getting pleasant.
The guard outside will see that you get your property back. Go on, beat it.
So long, boys.
Of all the cocky... Now, forget that, Peters. His being bailed out is even better than our letting him go.
I just hate to take that from a guy like him.
Remember I thought we might use him as a decoy for Nick Bodie? This is our chance.
I'll assign an agent to tail him right away, Dave.
Well, Peters, put on the newest man we've got in the New York office.
Well, Garrett's no dope. It'll take an old hand to tail him.
It'll take even more than one. I'll get some new agent out right away. And then bring the 4 best men in here to me for special instructions. I want to make sure Garrett thinks he's free to go where he wants.
Well, Garrett, feel good to be out?
Yeah, sure, Mr. Carter. You got anything else to say?
They'll put a tail on you.
Tell me something I don't know. Like, who gave you the money to put up my bail?
Look, call Paradise 23416 between 10 and 10:30 tonight. It's a lunch counter. Don't ask for anyone. If the right man answers, your name will be the first thing he says.
That's okay, Carterman. I'm expecting a call.
Frank Garrett?
Yeah. Hello, Nick.
You recognize the voice?
Sure. I knew you wouldn't forget me.
You do any talking?
Not even about the weather. But they got me on 2 counts, Nick. I don't want to stand still for them.
You won't have to. I'll get you some dough and you can jump bail. You're being tailed right now, I suppose.
Yeah, I got the guy spotted. A crew cut, boy. Strictly Joe College.
Okay. Now, here's how you lose them fast. You know the Cooley Building, 32nd and Broadway?
Yeah.
There's a side entrance with only a revolving door.
Right.
Let him tail you in there. Then double back and out the same door. When you get outside, step on the doorstop. That'll lock the door so you can get away before he circles the corner of the building.
Right. Cute trick.
When you're sure you're clear, call me at Mercury 46000. We'll pick it up from there.
Harding to Peters. You still with Garrett?
Yes, Dave. He just got out of a cab at 32nd Street and Broadway. He's going in the Cooley building. I'm about a half a block behind in my car.
Is Stevens still tailing him?
Yes, had to go over eager, though. Got a hunch Garrett spotted him.
Well, keep in touch.
Wait a minute. Garrett just came out of the Cooley building. There's some trouble at the door. Stevens is locked in.
Good.
Garrett's back in his cab.
Okay. Stay with him. Keep in touch with the other cars. Just make sure Garrett keeps on thinking he's in the clear.
Nick, you should have told Frank Garrett to call here. This is my office.
I've got my reasons, Richie. I'll get it. Hello? Listen, Frank. Remember Barney's Tavern? Drop in there for a drink. I'll be there. No, don't talk to me in the tavern. If it looks clear, I'll get up and walk out to the parking lot around the corner, where they rent cars. I'll have one rented and settle things while we drive. Right. Okay, Richie. You happy now?
Oh, for goodness sakes, get out of here.
Not without you, Richie. Where I sit, you're too comfortable. Too nice and clean.
What do you mean?
I'm the only guy who can tie you up in this racket. Something happens to me, you're in the clear.
Look, Nick.
Besides, there's no reason you couldn't walk out on me. Then I'm out on a limb.
I wouldn't do that, Nick.
Maybe not. But I believe in insurance, partnership insurance. I'm going to take some out on you. Frank Garrett's help.
Nick, how long are we going to sit here? Frank's been at that corner table 2 minutes already.
Don't get anxious. Just want to make sure there's no tail on him.
No one's come in since he did.
I know. I've been watching.
There are no cars out in the street. Only that truck over there.
Mm-hmm. I guess it's okay. Let's go. Garrett will follow us.
Brady in the truck to Harding. Garrett just came out of the bar.
No one with him?
No, sir. Uh-oh. He's going to the parking lot on the corner. I'll get ready to tail.
Peters, how far are you from Brady?
The next block, Mr. Harding.
Brady, give Peters the direction Garrett takes. You follow Peters. Peters, you pick up his trail.
Right, Dave. A car's coming out of the lot now. A blue Dodge sedan. It's Garrett. 2 other men with him. Going east, Peters. You can pick him up 2 blocks down.
Okay, Nick, what's the pitch? Who's this guy?
Relax, Frank. We need a chauffeur.
Don't be cute. Who is he?
I'll tell you, Frank. He's the nice man who's been selling all our stuff for us.
Nick.
Shut up. I want you to meet the hired help. Frank, this is Mr. Richardson, the president of Product Buyers Incorporated.
Nick, you've never been so generous with information before.
I want this to be one big happy family. Besides, suppose something should happen to me. If you didn't know Richie, who'd help you?
Nick, let's get to the point.
They got plenty of time.
No, not me. I want to get my dough and jump bail before the Counterspies put another tail on me.
Well, you got a point. Hey,
car behind us.
Yeah, I didn't bring no tail with me.
Faster, Richie. See if that car stays with us. Okay. Turn off. There's a dirt road up ahead at your left. Turn in there, Richie.
All right.
Anything else behind us, Frank? Just a laundry truck. Let him pass us, Richie. Okay. Turn in.
How far do I go?
I'll tell you when.
How much dough you got for me, Nick?
$5,000.
$5,000. Hey, I can skip the country with that.
Why not? Be a lot safer for everybody with you out of the country. All right, this is good enough, Richie. Stop here.
Nick, the gun.
What's the matter, Frank? You've seen guns before.
Nick, look, give me my dough. Let me lay 'em. I'm a right guy. You know that.
Sure. We've been buddies for a long time.
Yeah, that's right, Nick. You wouldn't...
Kill you? What kind of a heel do you think I am?
Oh, no, Nick. I didn't think anything like that.
Well, why should you? Now, if Richie...
Nick, you need me.
Of course I do. Why should I kill a guy I need?
We could take the dough, Nick. Put those guns away.
Don't get excited, Richie. I'm giving one to you.
Me?
I couldn't kill my buddy. You could. Then I wouldn't be a heel.
Nick, no. I won't do it, Nick. I can't.
Richie, you'd rather die instead of him?
Look, Nick,
Get up, Frank. You wanted to leave the country, and now you're going to. Come on, Richie. I want something nice and big on you. Like murder.
Please, Nick, don't make me...
Shut up. I heard it, too. Somebody over there in the brush.
Yeah.
Here! Over here!
Garrett, buddy, you're covered from all
Counterspy.
sides.
They won't get it. No, don't shoot, Nick.
You want it the hard way, you get it that way. Peter, give him a sample.
Take me! Nick, no. I go on my arm, you crazy. I don't want to die.
This is your last chance.
Come on, I got it. I'll kill you. Easy does it, Nick. Frank, you double-crossing rat.
Get him more of this picture, Dave.
Two crooks holding the third one for it. Very pretty. The gun. Take Bodie's gun. Drop it, Bodie. I'll drop it. Oh. Then drop it.
Oh, thank heaven. Okay, get out of that car. You're all under arrest for postal theft, except Nick Bodie, who's also under arrest for murder.
Murder?
You're nuts. You killed Jimmy Morrison and Kathy Thomas, and we'll prove it in court.
All right, start walking. As far as that laundry truck down the road.
Laundry truck? You've been tailing us all this way.
Right, Bodie, and we'll keep tailing you straight up to the prison gates.
When your friends drop in, be generous, but be thrifty, too. Serve plenty of delicious Pepsi-Cola. Pepsi's big 12-ounce bottle gives you not just one sparkling glassful, but two. Get a carton of 6 and serve 12 delicious drinks. Yes, Pepsi is America's biggest cola value. You get twice the tangy taste, twice the refreshment, twice the Pepsi. So why take less when Pepsi is best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember...
Pepsi-Cola, hits the spot, two full glasses, that's a lot. Lot more value, lot more zest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
Tune in every Tuesday and Thursday, same time, same station, to Counterspy. Listen next Tuesday for the exciting Counterspy case of the visiting vultures.
It was a twisting trail of big-time bootleggers your counter-spies followed. From a small tavern in backwoods Mississippi to the lakefront of Chicago. In our counter-spy files, we call this the case of the visiting vultures. I invite you to be tuned in.
Next Tuesday, case of the Visiting Vultures on Counterspy. Tonight's Counterspy program, in part transcribed, originated in New York, was directed by William M. Sweets, dramatized by Palmer Thompson, and featured Don McLaughlin and Mandel Kramer, with music by Jesse Crawford. Counterspy is a Phillips H. Lord production for Pepsi-Cola. Enjoy some Pepsi ice cold tonight.